Welcome to the TARDIS Zone live. Nice to have you all here on this Monday evening. Yes, so there's still a bit of fallout to Orphan 55. The ratings obviously down. We spoke about this earlier on, but we'll take more of your comments, guys. I'm hoping to have a few guests to pop in. I won't say who they are. If they can arrive, they can arrive. Obviously, everybody's very busy today, so I understand that. So, but if they do turn up, I will add them to the stream. So, I hope you are all doing well. I'll see who's actually in the chat right now and do the usual shout outs and see what do you guys think of the ratings for Orphan 55 and what are your thoughts on the episode? We've got Daniel here. We've got Charlotte. Who else? We've got Crystal. Welcome. Crusader is here as well. Milk Dreams is here. Welcome. Crusader is here. Lee Anthony Davis is here. Welcome. Chris Perza is here. Welcome. We've got Pete here as well. Welcome, Pete. Nice to have you here. Who else have we got? We got Michael Richardson and Gary is here. Welcome, Gary. Super John. We've got Max. And we have, just to make sure I have everybody, and Daniel as well is here. Welcome. Nice to see you in the chat, Daniel. And we've got Colin as well. Nice to have you all aboard. And he says, no, now that's time and just finished another stream. Nice to have you. And Peter D is here as well. Welcome. Nice to have you all on board. 29 of you guys watching right now. If you could do me a favor and give the stream a like and hit the notification bell. And if you're new to the channel, or you're just checking the channel out to check us out, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button as well. Max says it lost 410,000 viewers. I said it would lose 365,000. So, yeah, I think I was the closest there for that one. But I did honestly believe after watching the episode it would actually drop a lot more. But it's still a steady decline, and it's sad to see. So we'll see what happens. But it's not looking good at all. And Max says it started at 4.88 million this series. Yeah. And as Chris says, give that like button a smash. And Lone Wolf is here as well. Welcome. Right, as I said, we might have guests popping in and out. Hopefully we do. If not, I'll just go for the next hour or so. We'll see how we get on. I will read out some of your comments and stuff like that. We haven't done that in a while. So if there's anything you'd like to ask or anything, or if there's any if you've watched the episode and there's something you'd like to get off your chest about that episode, please let us know in the comments and I'll throw the comment up there on the screen. Michael, I'm doing well. Cheryl is just watching a show called Criminal on Netflix. We watched the first episode, which featured David Tennant. Oh my God, right? All it was David Tennant in a room with two cops and his solicitor, and it was absolutely fantastic drama. It was suspenseful. One minute you were thinking he was innocent, next minute you were thinking he was guilty. All I'll just say is I won't ruin it for anybody, but I would check it out. Criminal. It's on Netflix. Now David Tennant is not in the whole lot. It's episode by episode. There's 4 episodes, 4 different cases, and it's absolutely fantastic. I see Stephen Cassidy is back. Stephen, this is the normal live stream. From now on, what's going to be happening is when there's news articles, I'm going to be doing them live, and then I'm going to be doing my live streams as well. So I'm going to be pretty busy over the Doctor Who run anyway. And Michael has asked me now just quickly to say Streets of Rage 4 is out this year. I remember playing that game years and years and years ago. So yeah, that's good to see that game's still going. Colin says, I think the next 2 weeks' numbers are going to be very telling. I do agree, and that's what we'll talk about here tonight as well. What do you guys? I mean, I've said it. I did say it, didn't I? I said after episode 4 and 5, we will definitely get to see where this where this series is going. And so far, it's not looking good. Unfortunately, the ratings they just keep going down, and it's being defended, and it will be. Sorry, the washing machine is spinning in the background, so we'll just give that a second. Let's see. Transit Rail '09. Welcome to the chat. And asks a question. How were there fires when there was no oxygen? Dreadful episode. And we've got Spitfire Mark A1 here as well. Welcome, my friend. Nice to see so many familiar faces come back again today. Thank you. We really appreciate it. I'm actually enjoying doing the extra little streams, to be honest with you, on the days that I do stream, especially when there's an article, especially after an episode has dropped. Some of the articles do be great. Now, listen, some people will say, well, why don't you do some of the positive articles? Because I'll tell you why I won't. Because if you read them, right, they're basically defending everything. They're not balanced in their view, so why would I? I mean, even with the articles that are criticising, they're trying to be nice. Do you know what I mean? But the ones that are being nice won't criticise at all. So, I mean, if you were to listen to some of the newspapers out there, Jodie Whittaker is basically performing Oscar-worthy if you could get Oscars for Doctor Who. I mean, that's how bad they are. I mean, I've never seen these 3 episodes. These 3 episodes have been overhyped. It's unbelievable. Like Spyfall 1 was decent, Spyfall 2 was dreadful, and this episode, Orphan 55, was dreadful as well. And Chris Chibnall, as I said earlier, just seems to have this thing about ignoring canon, or I don't know. He's either being very clever and this is an alternative universe, or he is actually trying to retcon the whole of Doctor Who's past, and that's unforgivable. To be quite honest, and that shouldn't be allowed happen. I mean, Doctor Who has a proud history, and for someone to come in and treat it with the disrespect that Chris Chibnall seems to be treating it is unforgivable. And I'm sick of him now, to be honest. You know what? Moffat did a lot of things that I hated, right? But there's one thing I will say, he'd get over his temper tantrum pretty quick, and he'd write something that the fans would absolutely adore. I mean, he's written some of the best episodes. I mean, Heaven Sent, for example, is one of them that's up there as one of the greatest ever written. And Chris Chibnall hasn't even come anywhere near that level with this series. And, he tried to reinvent it, hasn't worked for Series 11. He's decided to bring old villains back, and it's not working. If you look at it, do you know what's happened? I said this a few weeks back. What's happened is that the damage was done in Series 11. Doctor Who was mortally wounded in Series 11, right? With that series, there was no coming back from it. He was so radical in what he did and the changes that he made that you look at Doctor Who Series 11 and it feels nothing like Doctor Who whatsoever. And that's what he set out to accomplish. But he's saying that the audience wasn't taken to it. So he's decided to put in old villains, but he's still doing the same things. He hasn't changed his opinions. He hasn't changed the way he's going to write it, or his writers are going to write it. He has a brief. He's following that brief. He's probably. I definitely know he's losing the plot, because he he doesn't seem he's got an ego, as we know. But the thing about it is the fact that he says he doesn't read criticism, right? We all know he does, but he says that because he knows that it'll drive us mad, and we'll talk about it because he's got such a big ego. He's just he's done so much damage to this show. I don't know where it can go from here. I'm being honest. I really don't. It's just I'm starting to get lost for words about. I just don't know what to say about his hair. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. I mean, if his goal's just to piss off all the fans that have watched this show since the beginning, well, then he's doing a great job at that. But to actually destroy the show from the inside out is unforgivable, and that's what actually he's doing. Now, I've heard Rotten Tomatoes again has been messing with the audience score. Again, they're not even hiding the fact that they're messing. And I spoke about this earlier today. The consolidated figures are being bumped. There's no doubt about it. There's no way Doctor Who gained as many catch-ups as they're saying that it got. It has a Disney feel all over again. Now, we've heard this before. Disney's being accused. It can't be proven, of course, but I think actually some YouTubers have proven it. Wouldn't be surprised if BBC is doing the same. Remember, they got a video of mine removed. They got YouTube to remove a video of mine because I spoke about Spyfall, and I basically given the end of the episode away and many key plots, right? And they didn't like that. The video got taken down because I gave away inside, what was it? Trade secrets. That's what it was. Trade secrets. Now, I've put the screenshots up on my community post. You'll probably have to scroll all the way up. But they're on YouTube on my community post. And you'll see the video that was taken down. And you'll see, because I showed the evidence. I'm not hiding it just in case. Because, you know, you'd have people out there, you're only saying all this. You hadn't got a video taken down. But I actually took screenshots and showed the evidence. So, yeah, BBC had a video removed anyway. So, yeah. And I mean, these streams have gone a bit dodgy as well. So they don't like me. And we've got, let me see. We've got Renee here. Says, hello, everybody. I'm back. Hello, Renee. Nice to have you back, my friend. Long time no here. And Milk Dreams with a $10 Australian super chat. Greetings, and just set up my Milk Dreams on Twitter if anyone is interested in talking Doctor Who. Do me a favor, Milk Dreams, actually, because I'm not actually very good at this. If you want, you can put the link to your Twitter account in the live chat there. And I'm sure people, including myself, if you want to send me a request, I will certainly join you there. And thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. We've got Careboy 12 here. Welcome. Nice to have you here. And my day has gone great. Ted is just sitting there relaxing beside his mammy, sucking on his Seamus the sheep, while Cheryl is watching that criminal show that I was telling you about that's on Netflix. She's watching the second episode with the earphones in. So, yeah, and she seems to be enjoying it intensely. And we've got Crystal here as well. Welcome. So, guys, I mean, I just, you know, it's, you can see the downward trend now is continuing. Does anybody think the BBC really care? I want to actually see what you guys actually think. Do you think BBC care about the ratings, or do you think they just don't care because, you know, they get the TV license fee? Let me know what you actually think. Time for my big finish date now. Good night, everyone. Now and Noel, keep up the good work, says Michael Richardson. Good night, and thanks for popping in. And Milk Dreams, I will put there. He's at the putting his Twitter account in the live chat. So what I will do is I will put it up on the screen there, and he's just at the coming in with another 10 Australian dollars, and he says thanks. You could have just. Milk Dreams, you could have just said thanks in the chat, but thank you again. I really appreciate that. Holy God, thank you, man. That's amazing. I appreciate it. Jason Howell is here. Yes, but they care about their agenda more. And there's Milk Dreams' Twitter account on the screen there. He talks Doctor Who, so please join him on Twitter. And if you have a YouTube channel, Milk Dreams, if you want to put the link to your YouTube channel up, or people just want to tap on his name and give him a sub, go ahead. Renee says, no, I don't think the BBC cares. I don't understand it, but I don't think they give a darn, because if they did, they would fix the problem. I agree with you, Renee. It is sad. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting very emotional watching this series. And I don't know. Someone was saying you could see it in your face each week when you're doing the reviews. I don't know. We got Java Bean, who's joined the chat. Welcome, Java Bean. Nice to have you here. Of course, they will blame the fans. Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, just to be clear here, will not take responsibility if this goes, well, it is going wrong. They will not take responsibility. The media and Jodie Whittaker's fans will turn on fans like us, the ones that have had a problem with this era, that actually understand what Doctor Who is and the way which direction Doctor Who should go in, and what kind of messages Doctor Who should be conveying. Listen, I've heard people, as I said earlier in the last stream, I've had people compare this to the Green Death, and as I said, don't ever compare the two, because it's an insult. One's an absolutely fantastic episode, and the rest is an absolute. The other one is an absolute joke. As well with his historical episodes, he's bad all over the park. He's just absolutely ridiculous. Chris Chibnall and his writers, I mean, the articles picked up on one thing, right? So he blows up Gallifrey, and I said this last night as well. Blows up Gallifrey, and we get nothing. We get absolutely nothing. Like, there's no more story development there. Absolutely nothing. We get one line at the start of the episode. Oh, you seem to be still in what was it? Not a mood, but there was another word that they use. And Milk Dreams again with another super chat. Where is it? Hold on. He might well be. Another super chat here from Milk Dreams. Sorry, Tardis Zone, no YouTube channel. Sorry. You can just leave it in. You could just send me a comment. You don't have to keep sending me super chats. I really do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I do appreciate it, but 3 super chats at 10 Australian dollars each. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate it. Wow. I just don't know where we go from here. He's done so much damage, and it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better, because he's not learning the lessons. He's read the reviews because he's had little digs at fans, but he has basically said to us as fans, well, I don't care what an opinion. See, he did an article and said this is not a democracy. So basically, what he's saying there to all of us as fans is, well, I don't care if you have a problem with this. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna go the way I want to go with it, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? But back in the 80s, he had the opportunity to complain, and I have to say, the producers at the time, even though he's being a disrespectful little ass, listen to him. He won't listen to us as fans. We do not have an opinion. And if you listen to Jodie Whittaker's fans out there, you can't criticize Jodie Whittaker because she's the best ever. And not only that, because she's a woman, but then they talk about equality and all this. But yet, if you criticize a woman somehow, you're being a sexist, misogynistic pig, right? But if you criticize a man, it's okay to criticize a man, right? If this was a guy in the role, right, okay, we'd be criticizing the writing. Okay, if the actor was a bad actor, we would be criticizing his acting as well. But if he was a decent actor, we'd be criticizing the writing. If Jodie Whittaker was a decent actress, we'd be criticizing the writing more than we'd be criticizing the fact that a woman's in the role. But no, because everything is wrong with this. Everything is wrong with this. Stephen says, I'm going to leave you now. Keep up the good work. Bye to Cheryl and your doggy. Thanks very much, Stephen. Good night. And thanks for popping in again today. Really appreciate it, mate. Really appreciate the support. And we have actually our first guest as popping in now. We'll only be popping in briefly, but I'd like to welcome
Hi, everyone.
How are you, my friend?
I am good. I have a cold again. They're scraping my parking lot, so you'll probably be hearing that in the background. And in case anybody's asking, yes, I am working on my review, but it probably will not be up until tomorrow. I made one and I was not happy with it, so I'm going to fix it. So, Noel, how is life today?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. I'm still kind of reeling after that episode. I'm getting lost for words each week. Now, I mean, I like the first episode, and I know people were probably a bit surprised by that. But the second one was awful, and this one was just
I'm calling this one of the worst episodes in history.
Yeah, and come here, it's being compared to the Green Death, as I've mentioned a couple of times tonight in tonight's stream.
You have to look at the political context when the Green Death was released. This was 1973. Political action on the environment was a new phenomenon. They were actually taking a risk when they did the Green Death. They're not taking a risk in 2019. They are adopting current political views, which are being pushed very hard by the BBC. And another thing, the script or the original author of the Green Death, which was Robert Sloman, the script was actually heavily edited after the fact by Barry Letts to try and tone down some of the extreme viewpoints that were there originally. But you can't compare the 1973 context to 2019.
Well, we're in 2020 now.
Or did I say, yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, you're still doing your 2019, y'all, are you?
Yeah, well, we'll do both. Well, it was filmed in 2019, so I'm...
No, you're right. You're right. You're actually right. So, yeah, I mean, it felt like the last scene in particular, though, was shoehorned in. And it was just the preachy nature. I mean... You are right. I actually was a bit optimistic, and everybody was telling me, no, they're going to double and triple down. And do you know what? So far, you've been proven absolutely spot on. I mean, I don't know where my optimism came from in the first bloody place. I think it was because the Master, I knew the Master was coming back, so I was pretty excited for that.
I think you were coming at it the same way a lot of people were. This series was more than a year removed from Series 11, so many people were hoping against hope that now I didn't buy into it at all. I knew fully well what to expect, but I know a lot of people, and I think this also speaks to the hashtag Rainbow Hate Mob. A lot of people were willing to give this a chance. I gave it a chance. I hated it, but the problem is you have nothing to work with. Jodie Whittaker cannot carry off. She can't pull off the Doctor. The show is called Doctor Who.
Yeah,
dumbass probably thinks that's actually the name of the character too.
And when you're and that's the thing. And when you aren't the right person for the role, unfortunately, it does show. I mean, look at, a lot of the blame has been put on her. And rightly so, because she hasn't, actually helped herself in some of the comments that she's made. But, I mean, Chris Chibnall, if your first choice, your first choice turns down the role, which was rumoured to be Olivia Colman. What he should have done he should have... I know he says he had an open audition, but we all knew that Jodie Whittaker was going to get it anyway. And when we found out it was Jodie Whittaker, we all knew best friend, right? Because Bradley Walsh is there as well, best friend of Chris Chibnall. So he gets his friends in. What he should have done he should have done an open audition. Now, I know he did say he did, but we know he didn't. But that's what should have actually happened. And someone better should have been picked. But he chose Jodie, took the gamble with Jodie. And she took the role, obviously, because, let's be honest, Bowstrek, this is probably going to be the best, and this is going to be as good as it gets for Jodie Whittaker.
Well, the series now has everything working against it. Whittaker is the central problem. The problem is also, as I've said many times, within the BBC with the diversity and inclusion strategy, which has just destroyed everything. You have a showrunner that has no business running anything. And people say, well, the first season of Broadchurch was good. I think Chibs had help with that, because if you compare that to seasons 2 and 3, it's absolutely ghastly. And not only that, you have a lot of talent out there, still some from the classic series, but also some from New Who that are fully capable of writing good scripts. But he insists on bringing in these ideological hacks. And I think Ed Heim, 2 episodes in, might be the worst writer we've ever had in Doctor Who history. And this episode wasn't just bad because of the message. This is one of the worst acted episodes, one of the worst shot episodes. That costume, I don't know what the hell that thing was supposed to be, the bear costume or whatever the fuck they were doing with that. And not only that, you're this is supposed to be a desolate planet. Why are there trees in the background?
Yeah,
honestly, true. A, you couldn't find a quarry, which is a Doctor Who staple, and B, you couldn't CGI them out. So their location scouts are clueless. Everyone involved with this show is completely clueless. And yesterday was actually through, hypothetically, various means of watching, it was the first time I'd actually watched a show live on the BBC. And I have to say, even the commercials beforehand, good God, I thought it was woke, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We've got a £5 super chat here from Spitfire Mark 1A. I says, I understand your deep disappointment. I'm a Star Wars fan, 1997 fan also. And look what Disney has done to that. Great channel also. Hi to Ballstrek.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm not a Star Wars fan per se, but I do like the original trilogy. I wasn't a huge fan of the prequels, but the new trilogy actually makes them look like masterpieces now.
And retcons them and destroys them in retrospect.
Yeah, and if you look at, I bet you everybody's thinking now, Series 10 of Stephen Moffat's era is not that bad anymore. It'd be very interesting to see now people review that now with what they know right now. I'd say the review for Series 10 would be completely different. I think Series 10 will be looked at completely different now. What do you think? Or are you still of the same opinion? Because I know you're not a fan of Series 10, but do you think you could get behind Series 10 now, looking at the way it's gone?
I will admit that it's better, but with Series 10, yeah, you had a strong doctor, bad writing. I've said this in other chats. I don't think the problem, in retrospect and looking at this, I don't think the problem with Series 9 and 10 was Stephen Moffat. Because if you look at the episodes he had written prior to becoming showrunner, and if you look at the episodes, the first 4 seasons, yes, his series arcs were a complete mess, and he can't, outside of A Christmas Carol, he can't write Christmas specials to save his life. But there was a genuineness. There was still Doctor Who. They were well written. Everything after that is not well written. It's not even like Twice Upon a Time is not Stephen Moffat's style at all. I think it was. I think that episode in particular is actually ghost written by Chibs. But I think there was a lot of interference within the BBC because keep in mind everything emanating from the BBC has been destroyed by the diversity and inclusion strategy.
Yeah.
And this was introduced in 2016. Series 9 was 2015. But you can tell there was a complete shift in tone from what we'd seen before. So I think Stephen Moffat was being dictated to. And I also, that the one comment that he made on the John, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was the John Pertwee Blu-ray set, where he said Doctor Who should be apolitical. I think that was not only a shot at Chibs, but I think that was a shot on whoever screwed up the show and told him what to do behind the scenes. But the funny thing is about Series 10, it's been almost 3 years now since it aired. It was the last full season that I bought on Blu-ray. I have made a few attempts to watch some of the episodes, but right now I can barely remember anything that happened in that series. So by rewatching it will give me a fresh perspective, but it will be better than what came before. Because yes, I think Stephen Moffat was being told what to do, but he was still showrunning. And I think in terms of arcs and stories, he was a little burned out by that point as well.
Yeah.
But I will say Series 10 is Doctor Who. It's, from what I remember, and like I said, I remember almost nothing. I have to rewatch it. Excuse me. But it's bad Doctor Who. My reviews are still up there as well. That's when I started to change my tone and began to get very critical towards the show. But I will accept Series 10 as the final full series of Doctor Who. I do not acknowledge what we've seen in the past 2 years as Doctor Who. This is not the show. No. This is Doctor Who being co-opted mid-run by a bunch of ideologues, incompetent ideologues that are unable to string anything together, and by an actress who can't pull off the part. And if it was just bad acting, I might be somewhat forgivable towards Jodie Whittaker. Yeah. But given the comments that she's made, the things that she said, writing off the entire series, or the classic series, is celebrating the white male gaze, admitting that she refuses to watch the classic series, and even just baiting attacks that came out right before this series, I have no sympathy for her. Her and Chibs are the worst thing that ever happened to this show, by far.
Max actually says Neil Gaiman said that scripts get edited. Yeah,
yeah, they do.
With his scripts, all right. He was saying that they weren't exactly the scripts that he had given.
No, the Doctor's Wife, that's on record as having been heavily edited. And people pinpoint that as the Doctor being able to change genders. I don't think that was Neil Gaiman's line. It may have been edited by Stephen Moffat, but then again, for all we know, it may not have been Stephen Moffat's line. We don't know how long this trajectory has been in play. But yeah, any script will go through script editing. Like you have script editors on Doctor Who. Some will get edited more than others. Whereas when Stephen Moffat was writing for RTD, there wasn't much editing in terms of scripts. Mark Gatiss, I don't think, had much script editing either. But with less experienced writers, or writers that are coming into Doctor Who for the first time, there is some editing. So that's to be expected. But right now, they don't even need script editors because Chibs is only hiring people that are perfectly in line with his views and with the views of the BBC, which is why nobody from the previous regime, any of the previous regimes, is anywhere to be seen within Doctor Who. And that includes in front of the camera and behind the scenes.
Right, I don't want to actually talk about the episode because I know you've got your review coming up, but where would you, without giving anything away, because obviously we'll wait until your review, where would you rate this episode? Now, I said it's probably up there as one of the worst episodes I've seen. I mean, for example, Ed Heim has given us probably the two worst episodes in the Chibnall era, in my opinion, so far. And I know
well, he's given us the most offensive episode in Doctor Who history.
But they're bad. They're really bad.
Oh, no, I have no problem talking about the episode. Well, in summary, this is the crappiest base under siege story I've ever seen. This steals plot lines from at least 12 different Doctor Who stories. Even the beginning with the deep space squid having its mating season juice splunked all over the TARDIS. I'm like, good God, who writes this?
I know.
You have the Tranquility Spawn. We're introduced to the bear suit woman with a tail, which is like a kid's Halloween costume from a thrift store. We very early on, we get a stance against marriage with the old couple, who are also probably some of the worst performances I've ever seen in Doctor Who history. There's that cringing scene with Ryan getting his virus from the vending machine, and then that thumb sucking scene might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on Doctor Who after the splunking squid. Then you have James Buckley from the In-Betweeners playing Nevi, who is written and portrayed as an idiot. Of course, he's divorced. And we also get the implication that his son is smarter than he is, and there's no hiding what agenda they're pushing there. Old people are idiots, and Buckley, I think, is like 10 years younger than I am, so I guess I'm a major idiot. You have the one white guy screaming like a little girl in the corridor when everything starts to get wacky, so I noticed that nice little jab right there. You have, what's her name, Kane, who really is just there to condescend or straight white male underlings. And of course, in this episode, Ed Heim also has mommy issues because he's portrayed as a bad mother. And in terms of how the age difference between the two of them works, I have no idea. Best not ask questions. It's a vacation, which is a futuristic thing because we've destroyed everything. It's an orphan planet, which has been destroyed by us, but the elites live. So I'm assuming that means that everybody at the BBC is fine. Dr. Nasty says this happens all the time. Terraforming, we get more stabs at capitalism because, well, the BBC is anti-capitalist. It just steals money from license fee payers to make its bullshit. We have Benny, the old guy. He's an idiot. He ran away. We have Ryan with ridiculous pickup lines like, how long have you been unemployed? So again, trying to portray men as idiots. Yaz, of course, doesn't like Ryan's flirting because how dare you flirt with anybody in 2020? Then we have the scene with Benny. Finally, will you marry me? And if anyone can, will you please shoot me? So not a whole lot of subtlety there. So then we have, of course, the mean lady who's the girl's mother. Of course, when we find out that this is Earth, we have a Russian underground station. So congrats for throwing Russia in there, you hacks. There is one scene that I liked where a monster is strangling the doctor, so that was exciting to watch. The dregs are those that didn't escape. They mutated. So they are us, dregs of society. Again, clever there, Chibs. Warnings from every scientist about global warming. Yes, way to bring in modern day politics. And this is, one thing that I find funny about this, whether or not you believe in climate change, the people that they have lecturing to us about this are not doing us any favors, especially when you get some poor 16-year-old girl with Asperger's to screech at us. All it does is annoy us. So what else? Yeah. So, we have more thumb sucking at the end. And then we have the doctor's probably one of the most self-righteous speeches I've ever seen. Catastrophe is coming, but it's not decided. People need to step up, but not them and not the BBC, because they are better than us. Although how many resources have they wasted on creating garbage like this, and really everything that emanates from them? In my review, I say maybe the BBC should be the change it wants to see and cancel themselves and save us some resources. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, we get that cringeworthy scene of the monster, because that is us. We are the dregs of society. This episode was a joke.
Yeah, actually, and apparently BBC America had told their viewers, "Oh, wait until the very end of this episode. You won't want to miss it."
Oh, good
God. They tried to hype it up the bit. By the way, Marty was asking a question there, and he wanted to know, how long does this strategy and inclusion thing go on for?
It's permanent.
It's permanent.
It is permanent. It was the strategy itself was introduced in 2016, rigidly mandated in 2018, where you have to adhere to the category checklist, and that's not only in casting, that's in themes that you include in episodes, which is obviously what we've seen here. So yeah, there is no end date for the strategy. This is what the BBC plans on doing going forward, unless, of course, for the love of God, they lose the license fee and are forced to change their ways. But as long as they're stealing license fee dollars, they will do this as long as they want.
You've got one of your long-time followers in the chat. He put up a comment earlier on just to say that he's following you for a few years, and he loves your channel. And he says he loves you, man. So
awesome, thanks, man. Who was that?
I'll put one of his other comments up there. Just popped it up on the screen there. So he's a long-term subscriber of yours.
Okay, well, awesome, man. And yeah, it's I don't think it's on the screen right now. I've got a comment about no, it's not that one, but as soon as it pops up on the screen, I will acknowledge this person. But yes, anybody that's been watching and suffering through my rants for the past few years, well, thank you very much. It's very appreciated.
Where is it? Hold on, I'll get the comment. It won't take me long to find it. It's just up here somewhere.
Yeah, and anybody that,
because it was a nice comment.
Oh, awesome! So, Sir Retsnom, I hope that I pronounced that correctly. But awesome! Well, thank you very much, man, and I appreciate everybody that follows me. Anybody that started with Doctor Who, and the handful of people that still exist from my DVD Blu-ray tech review days, which most of those people have excommunicated me. But I appreciate everybody that watches my videos. So thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah, Daniel, there was thumb sucking, believe it or not, actually in the episode. It all started with this virus worm. It looked like a little leech, and the CGI on it was just pretty awful. And it gets in through your body, and then the doctor gets out of Ryan, and he has to suck his thumb because they hallucinate bats for no apparent reason. No explanation given there either. But she's off. That scene was actually awful as well. Yeah, I just thought Nick, the next week's episode was an episode I was actually looking forward to, right?
No, next week's episode is going to be a lesson in historical toxic masculinity.
Exactly.
This time they're going after Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah, poor guy. As if he hasn't been already tainted enough. They'll just, I don't know. The future of this show there is no future. And even the months. See, again, I will say this. I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, but the monsters were an interesting concept, but we knew where he was going to go with them. But they were interesting, but you didn't even use them in the right way. Like, I mean, where was the suspense? People are saying this was scary and suspenseful. Well, I'm sorry, I must have been watching something completely different because I was bored.
These are people that haven't watched anything prior to 2015, I guess, or have forgotten everything that came before. Yeah, I think it was what Toes and Cole said. This episode scared the crap out of him. I am
Yeah.
sorry for you, my friend. You've got issues.
I agree with you because it wasn't even that scary. Oh no, I just don't know where the show goes from here. I mean, he blows up Gallifrey last week, and again, nothing, nothing. There should have been some reference or something in this episode. If asking Jodie's doctor why she's in a bad mood is somehow plot development, well then you must think.
Yeah, Gallifrey's been destroyed. Jodie's in a bad mood. Compare that to the way every other Doctor of New Who has reacted to even the mention of the destruction of Gallifrey.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's heartbreaking to watch any of those scenes, and Jodie is just pissy, which shows how she's not even not on the same level as the previous 4 New Who Doctors. She's not even in the same universe. I'm like, yeah, so when we first learn that Gallifrey is originally destroyed, I guess we'll call that the Destruction 1 now. When it first comes up with Christopher Eccleston, you could see that he was absolutely heartbroken. And David Tennant, whenever it came in. I'm like, and now it's like, oh, I'm in a bad mood. I'm like, God damn it, you suck.
Yeah. Milk Dreams reading out his comment because he's up to throwing a lot of super chats out there earlier. Has anyone seen Michael Chavez on Tesla's car?
No.
No. I haven't got a clue, to be quite honest with you, what you're talking about. So I'm going to be honest. I don't know what that is. Do you?
No, but we'll have to take a look into it.
Hold on. I think he's added another comment there. We'll just put it up and see if it's a continuation. Max Mix Conspiracies had a Tesla review.
Oh, okay. We'll have to take a look at it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what else have we got? Will the beep watch the beep gloss over Tesla's free energy inventions? Yeah, well, I mean, the history books haven't been very kind to Tesla either. So, I mean, BBC are not going to make him out to be some sort of hero anyway. He'll definitely be some sort of villain in some sort of way. Or the Doctor will give him a dressing down and say he can't do this or something, and humanity is not ready for it, or some crap like that. But this was an episode that I was actually looking forward to because I thought the scorpion-looking robot actually looked decent. But now, after watching... and what a actually Ballstrick, we never even mentioned it because he got so little screen time, and then when he was on the screen, he played a dopey father. Basically done. James Buckley, what a waste of... is it Jason Buckley or James Buckley? I think it's James Buckley. What a waste of a talent there.
Yeah, no, it is. Actually, I wrote in my notes, and yeah, I the In-Betweeners is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, James Buckley, woke British television.
Yeah, well, absolutely wasted. And people are speculating that his son might be the Timeless Child. I don't know, because someone took a screenshot. And it looks like the Timeless Child is actually a girl. So I don't know. Everybody's going to be speculating all over the place. We don't even know where he's going with this Timeless Child thing. And then a news article came out a couple of days ago to say that actually it mightn't even be resolved at the end of this series. Matrix Lord has also actually reported on it and says that it will continue into series 13.
Probably. Either that or Chibs will just forget what he's doing again.
Oh, but it just looks like he threw it. Look, I'm not being smart here. It just looks like this air is just being flung together and they've just thrown it out and hoping that it actually appeals to people.
Probably. Well, Chibs isn't looking to appeal to anyone. He's just looking to appeal to his specific target demographic. That's the problem. Well, that's one of many problems, but he doesn't care about 90% of the general public that is out there watching television. And that's what happens when you have a corporation that is now run completely by ideologues that were hired because not only do they fit in categories, but they are ideologues.
Yeah, Eccleston's conversation with the Dalek was great. And that's how a doctor reacts to Dalek. Just read Max's comment there. Whittaker's conversation with the Dalek was awful. It's the dialogue. Actually, go back and do a comparison of those scenes and listen to the dialogue. The dialogue is far more superior in Dalek, definitely. She calls the Dalek a mate. Get off the planet or blah blah blah. She's not even intimidating. She can't do intimidating right. She's no screen presence. But the big issue here right now is the writing. The writing is just that script last night. It was just all over the place. And I don't know why they gave his character green hair in the first place. He didn't even need green hair. And Cheryl even said as well, if you took him and his son out of the equation, the storyline wouldn't have changed that much. And by the way, yet again, the doctor doesn't actually save the day. It's a kid that saves the day with his dumb father. And by the way, the one guy in this was actually stupid and his son was smarter than him. And then we had the toxic mother this time instead of the toxic father. So it was just roles.
Well, we had a toxic mother and an idiot father.
Yeah, that's it. So, and then we got that speech at the end preaching to us about it's up to us to change. We know the planet. We should do better by the planet. But Doctor Who's supposed to be entertaining, right? We don't want to be sitting down every week watching it being preached to. I don't know. He hasn't learned his lesson. And never will learn his lesson because he's just a brain dead idiot and he's got sawdust between that head of his. And I'm telling you, see this timeless child dread, he will not. And I agree with Bolstrek. With Moffat, it's at least you kind of knew to a certain extent where he was going. It was the ending that kind of let him down a bit, or the ending wouldn't be what fans expected. But there's no way that Chris Chibnall is this smart. But I want to ask you a question because I don't know, Bolstrek. Maybe I just need to hear someone else say it. But is this an alternative universe that he's doing? An alternate universe, as they say? Because would he really have the balls? I know this is Chris Chibnall, but this is huge, right? Is he really going to retcon the past? I mean, that would be disrespected. I mean, could you imagine the backlash? You're basically belittling every single person that played the role before Jodie Whittaker. And that's exactly what you're doing. From the people that created it, to the people that put it on the screen, to every actor that played, whether it was the lead role or played a part in it as a companion or whatever. That's being disrespectful to those people. Do you think he really is actually going to do this? Because I actually really need to know what the ending of this series is. I have to actually find out. I have to know, because if he does go down this route, it's well, we know it's finished Bolstrek, right? We know now. But if he does this is a big FU to everything. Do you think he's really going to do it?
Oh, I think that's where he's headed. And yeah, I'll probably have to head out after this. I have to get back to work. I've just stop in and say hi. Will Chibs go that way? Yes. Why is he going to go that way? Because he hates Doctor Who fandom. He hates this show. And I think the attacks, well, perceived attacks, but really was criticism that he's gotten, is they're now, I think they're looking to take revenge on those of us that have been watching the show for decades, in my case, 40 years. So I think it's very likely that he is going to retcon the Doctor's past. And this isn't, he's not going to portray this as an alternate universe. This is the Doctor Who universe. I think the rumors of the first regeneration cycle not being the first regeneration cycle may very well be true. So I think, and again, because they don't need the fans, because the BBC has the license fee, they can do whatever they want. They get your money regardless. So this season is, in particular, I think, is a big middle finger to the fans, and that was confirmed only a few minutes into the series premiere with the Doctor, where with the "this is an upgrade" line. So yeah, he hates us, and I think their mission now is to destroy the show. And I think there are people within the BBC, those that were there prior to the inclusion strategy, that don't agree with this. But I don't think any of them would speak out, because if they do, their career is over. So that's why I've disowned this version of Doctor Who from the classic series. Doctor Who ended in 2017, and it's never coming back.
And with that, Ball Strike, I will let you go because I know you've got a lot of work to do. Listen, mate, I really grateful that you popped in. Are you still on for Wednesday?
Yep, still on for Wednesday, and my video will be up. It's going to be either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when I get it done, because I'm working on this in between my day job. Right. So my reviews probably throughout the rest of the series will probably be premiering midweek, because in order to, especially when I did Spyfall part 1, it was pretty much a 12-hour all-nighter to get that together, and yeah, my old body can't really take that anymore, so I'm going to be splitting the production over a few days. And yes, I will be doing Woke Batman as well, because those are the only videos I still enjoy making.
Yeah, I know it's gone that way, isn't it? It's because like you've got an attachment to Doctor Who, so you take no pleasure. Because people think that we take pleasure in ripping this show apart. We don't, because we're genuine fans. Whereas Woke Batman, let's be honest, you decided to review that because
that's the high point of my week.
Yeah, it's
like Battlefield Earth, Geely, Plan 9 from Outer Space type material. So yeah.
Right, listen, mate. Thanks for joining. And listen, guys, if you haven't subscribed, but I'm pretty sure most of you already have. But if you haven't, go and subscribe to his channel. And listen, I'll talk to you soon, mate. And thanks for popping in. And I'll see you on Wednesday for the panel.
Oh yeah, no problem, my friend. And everybody have a good night. And just look at it this way: it'll be over in 7 episodes.
Yeah, 7 weeks. That's it.
Oh yeah. Well, take care, guys.
Good night, Ballstrek. Thank you. And thank you, Ballstrek. Nice of him to join us there now. Just looking at some of our comments there, I'm just throwing them up. He will do it in Series 13 because he knows it will cause a storm, and therefore do it in his last episode and then clear off, says Raymond Williams. And an Electric Media Madness. Why do I keep looking at that wrong? It's the way my eyes are. Electric Media Madness says Ballstrek has nailed it. Hate to the fans. I agree. High Desert 004 says, I'm not watching or buying any Who stuff, period. And Soritznum, if I've pronounced it properly, this is the same BBC that protected pedophiles. Yeah, let's not forget that this is the same company that kept Jimmy Savile protected. Unbelievable. That's, unbelievable. Hail Ballstrek. Everybody saying good night to Ballstrek. He's probably still listening. So thanks again, mate, for coming on. And everybody wishes you a good night. And everybody will be looking forward to your actual review. I can't wait to see it. Now we might have another guest or two popping in. Right, let me see. Sorry, I'm just replying to someone there. And the woke Batman videos are hilarious. They are. And Bad Wolf says because I haven't been checking, but apparently I have 1,180 odd subs. I actually want to say thank you to everybody particularly in the last few days. But everybody that's been with me from the beginning and that has joined us on this journey on this channel, I really appreciate all the support. It means a lot. And you know, I haven't always gotten everything right on this channel, but I'm glad that so many people are still enjoying the content that I put out there. And it's, you know, I enjoy doing it. And, you know, having you guys here, being able to talk to you and interact, which is a big thing that I've always wanted for this channel. So it's nice to see so many in the chat and people getting on with each other as well. And US Dutch Kitty has joined the chat. Good evening. Nice to have you on board, Purple Lady. And she says she didn't get a notice about this. Yeah, apparently that's been happening. A lot of people are not getting any notifications to me videos, which is weird. YouTube keep doing something to that platform. I don't know what they're up to. Lindsay says she loved the chat with Ballstrek. Yeah, it was nice of him to pop in. As I said, the guy was actually in the middle of editing his video, and he's actually joining me on Wednesday anyway, but he said he'd pop in. Ballstrek has been very supportive of this channel, actually, and I want to thank him again. Let me see. Have a good one, says Chris to Ballstrek. Chris Chibnall is the Valley Yard, says sci-fi. George, I'll put that up because that's a good little comment there. And Lee Anthony Davis says you might be right now. This could be the end as he hates the fans. And Gary puts up BBC barely broadcastable crap. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Thanks, Gary. That put a smile on my face. Do you think the panels are better than the phone in? Well, I'll leave that to you guys to decide, actually. But I'm actually enjoying the panels a little bit more, because with the panels you can interact face to face. When I don't have my face covered away from the camera, obviously I can talk to people face to face, and a lot of people that have phoned in before have gotten StreamYard and actually do join me on the panels. But I will do a phone in again. We will be doing phone ins. I'll be doing a mixture after the serious stops. I have said that phone ins will return, but they won't return the way they did, like the 4 nights a week, because we'll be doing live streams and panels. But we'll definitely bring it back once a week. We'll do phone ins, because I do actually enjoy doing the phone ins and actually listening to you as well, talking on the phone. And Gary says, we love you, Noel. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate all the support from you all, seriously. And I have many here from the beginning, and they're still with me. I appreciate it. Leland says a mixture of panel and phone ins would be good. Yeah, I might do one once a week, and you know, because I do. So Ritznam says, oh, the BBC Doctor Who Facebook fan page is beyond cringe. So many shills will attack you if you criticize anything. I'm actually following that page, and I'm actually one of their top fans on it, believe it or not. And all I've been doing is actually putting videos up. Actually, I'll give you as a laugh right now. I think they actually finally caught up to me because I got a Facebook ban. But I put the Spyfall video up that was banned by YouTube, and BBC had copyright because I gave away trade secrets, right? But the funny thing was, when they took it down off YouTube, I put it up all over Facebook. So the Spyfall information was up on Facebook for a few days before the episode had even aired. So if anybody had seen those videos, you would have found out what would happen in the first Spyfall. But it's funny, it is. I'm one of their top fans on it. So which made me cringe, because the page, I agree with you, it's one of the cringiest pages I've seen. The real McCoy says, thanks, Noel. We enjoy the chats a lot. Thank you and welcome to the chat, the real McCoy. And everybody's saying you're welcome, and people are saying they love Teddy. Of course, yeah, we can't forget about Teddy. Where is Teddy actually? Oh, there he is. Oh, I stored him from my sleep. Hey, buddy, come here to me. Do you want to say hello to everybody on the camera? Come here. Oh, yeah. Come here. Come here. I'll put the camera on for a second. Will we? We say hello to everybody. Look. Hold on. Okay, don't get excited. Look. Say hello to everybody. Oh, me little fella. There he is. There he is, guys. Say hello to everybody. Look, they all said hello to you. Oh. Yeah. Love this little fella. What's wrong with you? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Are you looking for some sweets or something? You're not allowed sweets, do you remember? We don't give you sweets because sweets are bad. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. That's Ted. He's great. So yeah. What's he want now? He wants a treat. Hold on, I'll get you a treat now. I just want to pull up a few more comments. We've got Daniel still in the chat. Welcome, Dan. Daniel, like most fans, is actually, do you know what's breaking me heart? Do you know what's breaking me heart? It's breaking me heart seeing fans like Daniel and my wife. I'm watching their passion for Doctor Who go away. I mean, my passion for the show has been dwindling for a few years. Just give him a treat. He wants a treat. My passion for the show has been dwindling for a few years, but to actually see my wife and to see people like Daniel, as I said, lose interest in the show that they've actually come to discover and enjoy is heartbreaking, because it's not nice at all. It's, I kind of made me peace with it. I also got me hopes up a little bit again, because as a Doctor Who fan, we always try to be optimistic, but it is sad, and there's a lot of fans really actually getting emotional, really upset, and it is just sad to see. And it didn't have to be this way. That's the thing. And I think that's what's annoying all of us as fans. It didn't have to be this way. You didn't have to do this, Chris Chibnall. Seriously, you actually didn't. We don't care about the messages that you want to convey. We don't have to hammer them across the head. You hammer us each week with political messages. We want to be entertained. We know we have to make the world a better place. Whether it's climate change or cleaning the oceans or whatever, we know we all must make a difference, right? But for God's sake, mate, you're supposed to be entertaining us, not boring the crap out of us. And I wish you had got someone that could actually act in the role. And I see a lot of you are actually giving me some nice comments there, saying you actually love the chat and stuff. I really appreciate it, seriously. And Lone Wolf with a £2 super chat there. Thank you. Keep doing what you do. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Seriously, guys, I do. I never thought the channel would get this far, to be honest with you. Sure, last month I was panicking that I'd lose the channel. Last month I had 500 and something subscribers, and it's really shot up. And thanks to Ballstrek and other people, other YouTubers like Gary, that have actually been giving me channel a shout out and promote me. I really appreciate everybody as well in the live chat that has subscribed to me, that actually helps and shares me videos and stuff. So thank you all. And Charlotte says, keep the community going. I will indeed. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Would Doctor Who work better on Netflix? Let's ask actually everybody that. That's the next question I have for you, and that's from Bad Wolf 66. So Bad Wolf 66 asks, would Doctor Who work better on Netflix? Well, they'd have a better budget. And the budget has never been a problem with Doctor Who, in my opinion. The writing, especially in the last few years, for me, and this is even going back as far as Moffat, has been the problem. That's it. Everything else has actually been okay. It's just the writing. All we needed was a showrunner, in my opinion. All the other pieces were in place. Murray Gold was perfect as the composer. Okay, everybody said he probably needed the break. He was getting a bit stale. But he's been gone for a few years now. So that'd be one change that I would definitely make anyway. If I was to start from scratch, Murray Gold would be the first name on the list. Composer, straight away. And then I'd get someone that worked on the RTD era to actually write for the show, because I think it's important. It's important you get someone that was around when the show was brought back, in my opinion. Now you could get that someone then. You could get some of RTD's people, and you could get some of Stephen Moffat's people if they're not the same people, and you could get those two to combine, two showrunners to combine, and actually take this show on. Right? Sit down together with their writers and come up with a story arc that will blow fans' minds. Look at this is possible, right? BBC could even do this, right? You don't need a big budget, but they just won't go in the right direction, right? They have to be seen to be, to be diverse and to be inclusive, right? And if you actually break it all down and look at the way they've done it in Doctor Who, well, they haven't done it properly anyway. They've just put a character in, they've killed them off, there's the box ticked. They're not even doing it with respect. So let's see does everybody think would Doctor Who do better on Netflix? Or when you mean do better on Netflix, I'm assuming you mean they buy Doctor Who off BBC. Or are you saying, do you think it'd do better if it was on Netflix to watch? I don't think it'd make much difference if it was on Netflix, to be quite honest with you. RTE would probably do a better job than BBC. Only thing is Tubbs would want to play the Doctor. Yeah. I'm being honest with you. RTE were very known around Europe because Ireland, as you know, back in the days when the Eurovision wasn't so cringy, Ireland used to win it year after year nearly. Sure, we had the record. I don't know if we still have the record, but that was one thing that RTE were known for. They could always put on the greatest Eurovision song. Sure, when Britain hosted it and a couple of other countries hosted it, they actually asked RTE to help them with the Eurovision to show it, because they weren't used to actually doing it as much as the Irish were. So even though RTE hasn't really done sci-fi, I actually think they would probably do a better job. Yeah, the only problem is I wouldn't want it full of Irish actors, because let's be honest, bar the superstar Irish actors, if you're watching Irish soap over here, trust me, you'd be all laughing. I even laugh at them. The acting is pretty awful. For example, I'll give you an example, right? If you check up Fair City, right? Fair City, RTE drama, right? Soap. It's a soap. It's called Fair City, right? Write it in and just watch any clip, right? And you will see how cringy it is. Yeah, Ireland won 7 times, more than any other country, and that's why other countries used to come to us and ask us to help them host the Eurovision, because we had that experience. And Spitfire Mark says Murray Gold wrote some superb and powerful music for the show. Trouble is, he needs a great show to write equally excellent music for. I agree, but he did kind of burn out near the end, but he has had a few years off, and I reckon his creative juices would flow again. I honestly do. Ted, what are you doing? I think he's. I don't know what he was doing over at the Sweetenborough, but he's doing something on. He had his head stuck in that the brush. The brush. Yeah, he had his head stuck in that. That's why all the hair. Maybe that's why he's eating all the hair, and he's in it. I'll tell you, that dog. The dog, he has a thing for hair. Seriously, because Cheryl has long hair. The dog sheds a bit of hair, and he just has a thing for hair. He's a little weirdo.
You're ruining the best part of my.
Oh, am I? Sorry. Eurovision seems rigged these days. Don't even watch it anymore, mate. How do you feel about the new composer, Zigon Akinola? I think I said his name there properly this time. Also, hi again. I'm not a fan of his music because I think it's too incidental. I like the punch of a Murray Gold soundtrack. That's just me personally, but I don't like his theme tune to Doctor Who either. So I've never been a fan of him. But he might do something that'll surprise me. But we get a lot of pop music in this era. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's the greatest. I would have to listen to his other stuff to make a comparison, because if he's other, being honest with you, I don't like his stuff for Doctor Who. Let me see. The best Murray Gold soundtracks are from Peter and Matt's era. I like Peter and Matt's era's Murray Gold's music as well. Richard Martin says Chibnall doesn't care about the fans and seems BBC is stupid, so don't think thousands of emails to BBC won't work. Doctor Who and Star Wars both ruined by PC morons. And Daniel says about Fair City, I didn't know this. Fair City was on the short-lived STV Glasgow regional channel. You're right, pure cringe. Yeah, it was. I thought I wouldn't even watch it. But they did make a brilliant one called, and I will give this a shout out. Ireland, as you probably know or don't know for some people, we do have a lot of gangland shootings in this country. So rival drug gangs, believe it or not. And they did a show. They did a show based on this kind of stuff on RTE, and it was probably one of the most successful Irish crime dramas that we had. I'm actually trying to think of the bloody name of it. See, gosh, show you, man. I've lost. Oh, Love Hate it was called. That's what it was called. So if you want to watch a real gritty crime drama, right, with lots of shooting and people being killed over drugs and stuff, Love Hate. It was on RTE. I think there was, 3 seasons of it altogether. Well worth watching, to be honest with you. Right, who have we got? Murray Gold's music from Series 1 to 4 was the most memorable. Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, etc. all run by idiots trying to turn them into something they are not. Yeah, it happens a lot, you see, but I don't know. They don't respect that nowadays. We have a question by Gary. What is the 13th Doctor's own team anyway? Because for the life of me, I can't think of it. Yeah, does the 13th Doctor actually have a team? It's not the way Clara had her team. every doctor would kind of have their own team. What is the 13 doctors team? Does she have one? Dark times for entertainment. Jesus, I agree with you. It really is. I didn't think it'd ever be this bad though. The Girl in the Fireplace was a great. Yeah, I have that soundtrack. The Girl in the Fireplace. I actually have that soundtrack. Love it. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. To be honest, I never take much notice of the music in the program anyway, but that's just me, says Colin. Murray Gold could sometimes get carried away, but his music is unforgettable. There is no 13 Doctor team. Wow. Incompetence and then shouty preachy by Colin P. Smith. Funny. I don't know, guys. It's just I don't know where we go from here. I mean, well, how many of you actually in the live chat watched last night's episode, and what would you give it a rating out of 10? Because I gave it a minus rating. Her team tunes should be Lauren and Hardy music. No, don't insult those two legends, please. A bit more like the Chuckle Brothers. That'd be a better team. Right, so here's the ratings coming in. Jason Howell gives it a 1 out of 10. Chris, our moderator, gives it a 3 out of 10. Bad Wolf 66 has given it a 2 out of 10. Sorry, I'll put your comment up there. Chat just jumped on me there. 2 out of 10. Milk Dreams has put 5 out of 10. Max with a green love heart. That's for the Irish. Thank you. Oh, -1 is an option, says Jason Howell. -1 is an option, my friend. You can go up to -10 if you like, which would be the worst ever. Sci-Fi George says the 13th Doctor is as memorable as her theme song. I agree, because if she does have one, we don't know, and it's unforgettable. Yeah, it's forgettable, I should say. Let me see some more. Have we got? I gave it a 0 out of 10. I think it's an act of vandalism, says Peter D. Jason Howell is going to give it a -1. Mark Spitfire Mark A1, you must have watched it then in the end, did you? He gave it a 0 out of 10. You must have watched it today, did you? Charlotte gives it a -3. We've got a couple of people admitting they didn't watch it, which is fair enough. And Daniel says he's boycotting the rest of the series now. Don't blame me, mate. What else have we got? Electric Media Madness gives it a 1 out of 10, maybe 2 at the most. Raymond Williams gives it a 2 out of 10 for Laura Fraser trying her best with nothing. Fair point. Gary gives it a -1. out of 10. Go up to minus affinity, says Badwolf66. And he did. He's seen it yet. He's seen it today, and it's aliens meet Butlins. I think that's one of the best descriptions that I've actually heard for that. And Lee Anthony Davis asks a question for you now. Do you believe that Sirius 1 was phenomenal? Like when it came back in 2005. No. It was great, but there was a couple of episodes I didn't like. But for me, I think Series 4 is better in RTD's run. And that's just personally speaking anyway. But I think Series 4 is better than Series 1. Crystal gives it a 0 out of 10. And Gary says, and maybe we should look into this, Gary. Gary says, the BBC owes me 45 of my life, not 45 minutes of my life back. Actually, they owe us more than that. Because we've had, what, an hour and a half and then add the extra 45. You got 2 hours and 15 minutes, don't you? So 2 hours and 15 minutes of our life we have to give us back. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, let's see. Series 1 was great. Yeah, it was great, but it wasn't phenomenal. I think Series 4 was better. In my opinion, sorry. I should say, stress that. Actually, we'll see if the wife is not watching and we'll ask her what her favourite series of RTD was. Oh, she's not watching. Favourite series of RTD? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Dana's 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she likes Series 4 like me. And Peter, that's exactly the reason why Cheryl actually likes Series 4. Because it was the perfect team. And you're right, Donna was the perfect companion. Now, I know Donna gets a lot of stick off some Whovians out there, but it was the perfect team. There was great chemistry. They were actually good friends. And you know what? It came across on screen. And there was none of this romance business. None of this romance nonsense, right? And that's what made it work. And why do you think everybody always says David Tennant and Catherine Tate? And why do you think they always win a poll? Because that was the best dynamic. Because when you take the romance element out of it, that's the way it should be. And a lot of people are saying RTD Series 4. Max says Series 4 is second for me. That's fair enough. And Series 1 is first. I know why Series 1's a lot of people's first anyway. It's because it's the 4 series back. But not only that, it does have some very good episodes. So I just like Series 4 better myself. Because you did have the whole Rose returning again as well. Even though I did hate her guts, you know, by the end. But it was nice. It was still good. And Donna is brilliant in it. And Donna and the Doctor. The Donna needed the Doctor. And the Doctor needed Donna. Yeah. They needed each other. And it worked. Yeah, it's not made for you anymore. It's not made for any of us anymore. Sir Ritzenham. It's not made for any of us. We've been clearly told. But this is why we got all this rhetoric space for all this time. Because they wanted to make sure that we weren't being left out. Well, he's still leaving us out because he's still managing to write crap. And Doctor Who fans don't like crap, right? We like intelligent sci-fi, okay? We don't like being bored to death with dumb scripts and dumb monsters with teeth and guys in leather jackets that are racist just for the sake of being racist, and a Donald Trump wannabe, and dancing spiders and talking frogs and fucking vicious sheets and an adipose on cracking the thing, right? We don't need any of that crap, right? We want intelligent stuff. Where's the intelligent aliens, right? Where's the actual fear factor? If anybody, I'm being honest with you, if people got scared of last night's episode, well then I feel sorry for humanity. I feel sorry for you. You haven't seen fear. That's not fair. That doesn't scare the crap out of you. I've seen scarier stuff in the classic era that absolutely scares the shit out of me compared to what I seen last night. No fear factor. There's never a fear factor. Jodie is never really in danger herself, but everybody else around her is. Have you noticed that? They're always in danger, but she's all right, and she's the incompetent idiot. It's done. It's done. I tell you. And then they do historical episodes, right? And then we don't learn anything new about these historical figures. Or we don't learn anything at all, because he doesn't actually focus on that. He focuses on some other stupid plot. And then the doctor's just going around then mind raping everybody by taking their thoughts away. Like, what the crap is going on, man? And since when can bleeding doctors bleeding mind meld like bleeding fucking Vulcans? You're right. Orphan 55 scared me. The script writing for terrifying. It was terrifying. Seriously, I feel sorry for humanity. We're screwed. If that's the type of crap that scares people now, we're done. We're done. Seriously. I've seen scarier things. Midnight was scarier. Midnight was scarier than this. And who agrees with me, actually? I'll ask you guys in the comments, because I'm fair. What was scarier? Midnight or that pile of crap last night, Orphan 55? Leave your comments in. I'll throw them up on the screen as I do. What we got? Have you seen my mummy? Love those episodes. Love those episodes. The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances. Scarier than that piece of crap last night. Let me see now. So, Jason Hell says Midnight. And there you go. Blink and Night Terrors still freak me out. Night Terrors is a bit of a freaky episode, you're right. And Blink, the first time you see Blink, is scary and it's intense, but that's how you write scary and intense. Blink was scary, says Sci-Fi George. The Last Time Lord, and welcome to The Last Time Lord. Midnight is a decade ahead of Orphan 55. I agree. Midnight AM by Electric Media Madness, and Peter D also agrees, and he says it was classy writing. Crystal says Midnight was scary. Let me see. We've got a few more for Midnight. It was well written, says Jason Howell. Midnight and also Blink, says Chris. Milk Dreams asked the question, is the timeless child the Doctor as Omega female? Of course. Interesting question. What do you guys think? We've got Blink. We've got a couple for Blink now as well, and a couple for Midnight. Silence in the Library. Yeah, Silence in the Library had the. Yeah, that was actually pretty scary the first time you see that. And David Tennant actually, he convinces you that that there's real danger, especially when he's telling them to stay out of the shadows. Don't move or you'll die. I thought it very intense, like. Yeah, I like that. Silence in the Library. Well done, Charlotte, for bringing that one up. And who turned out the lights? That I did that. Do you know what? That's one of my favorite two-parters, actually. Believe it or not, love that, and I love the Weeping Angel two-parter as well. Some of the worst Doctor Who episodes are easily better than most of series 11 and 12, and that is a fact, and that's what's sad, and you're right, and there is bad episodes out there, and we're not saying there isn't, but these are far worse. Midnight, because the monster couldn't be seen. Yeah, I do love episodes like that, where it's never fully resolved, but it leaves you want more. See, we could have a follow-up to that. The same company might learn from their mistakes and change it to a different location, and then we could have a second one. They could do it, but by the same person that wrote Midnight. Who was it? Who wrote Midnight anyway? Oh, it wasn't Stephen Moffat, was it? No, he didn't write Midnight, did he? Let's see. Midnight, Doctor Who. And there we go. And it was written by... Oh, it was written by Russell T. Wow. Russell T has a bit of a horror element. Well done. I'm impressed. Yeah, there he wrote Midnight. Absolutely brilliant. Just goes to show you. Yeah, the creepy astronaut repeating that over and over. Hey, who turned out the lights? While it kept coming forward. Yeah, that was. And your woman that died as well, the stupid one, but she became clever in the database. Or when she kept asking for Donna as well, that was actually sad. Yeah, actually, and I remember at the time people were saying in the newspapers, and you can look. I say you'd be able to get the articles where they say, "Is Doctor Who becoming too scary for kids?" Because people were genuine. They thought it might have gone over the top. But I thought it was perfect. See, when you have the media talking, you're onto a hit, right? When they say, "Oh, it's too scary," it's the right kind of scary. Good night, Mark. Spitfire Mark A1A. Good night, all. Up at 5. Great live stream yet again. See you soon. I'll see you soon, my friend. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. Don't dream of the bad lady, because she'll give you a nightmare. But good night. We all miss Grey Hill. We all do. The TARDIS zone this is for me. The one that really creeped me out was Are You My Mummy? From the episode where Axel meets Captain Jack. Still sends a little shiver down my back. Yeah. The Empty Child. Was it The Empty Child? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I like that. Those two episodes. Yeah, they were more terrifying in Series 5, the Weeping Angels. I actually think Blink is overrated, to be honest. I'm not saying it's not great, but they make it out to be something that it isn't. It's a great episode, but it's not Oscar worthy or anything. Do you know what I mean? It was how clever writing is done simply, but done the right way. It's done the right way. That's why it worked. Right, let's check Rotten Tomatoes while we're here. Because they'd be messing around. And we'll see how the whole series is actually doing. Well, the user ratings are at 278. So someone put up a post where it was 415. So they're actually removing reviews. The critic score is the interesting one. That's at 87%. So the user rating, the audience score is at 6% as we speak. 6%. Last night, at one stage, it was down to 5%. The Waters of Mars is pretty scary as well. But I like the Waters of Mars. It's one of my favourite. Actually, it is my favourite RTD special out of the specials he did when David Tennant was leaving. That was the strongest one, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I thought the Waters of Mars was the strongest of the episodes that he had for the specials when Tennant was leaving. So it's at 6% now, but last night it was at 5%, which was weird. But Rotten Tomatoes is manipulating that score because there was well over 400 reviews on it. Because I remember, and if I still have the screenshot, I can actually prove it. Hold on, I'll check. So it says 278 users now. Let's hope I still have the screenshot from last night. If not, I'll be in one of me, probably me Facebook groups. But there was more users. So they're getting rid of reviews. And I know everybody say, but ignore Rotten Tomatoes. Ignore Rotten Tomatoes. It's a shield site. But yeah, here's the thing though. Might be shield, but if they look at what the critics are giving it, they're giving it an 87. Right? They gave last year's series over a 90. So this is a change. There is a bit of a shift going on. Save Loy says 492 reviews on RT from what I can see. Yeah, but when I put it in on my phone there, I'm only getting 270. What did I say it was? 270. Hold on, I'll get it again. And I'll actually put the camera on and show you if you want. So the user reviews is that's why, because it's changed. It's changed. Sure, look at even the critic census has changed. The critic census is actually down to 80% now. Look, I'll show you. It's actually down, and the reason why there's more user reviews, it's gone up to 7%. So there you go. As it stands, the actual critic, there you go. I'll show you there. Not making. I know this is bad, but hold on. I'll try. There you guys can clearly see it. 80. There it is. There. Look at. 80%, and the audience score now has gone up by 1. It's 7%. So the critics, look at the critic. It's gone down. It's gone down from 86 to 80. So that is damning. Seriously, that is damning, because this is let's be honest with you. Rotten Tomatoes hasn't went down well with fans because of the whole Disney business, and we know they've been put into check. And but for the fact that the critic consensus has gone down on it, right? Because it'll still be the same critics that were reporting on Series 11 that will be reporting on this, right? And it's down 6%. That is shocking, right? So from 3 episodes, right? What did Series 11 hold on? Series 11 finished up with, here it is now. The critic consensus on was 90%, and the audience score was 21%. So it's down 10% from last year, right? And the audience score is pitiful, but we'll have to wait until till all the episodes finish. But I'm telling you now, we're looking at a critics probably consensus of about 85 by the end, and we're probably looking at an audience score around 18%. That'll be 3 down on last year, and it'll be 5 down. It'll be 3 down on the audience score, and it'll be at least 5 down on the critics score. That will be damning either way. So I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes is doing there, but the critics score has gone down to 80%. I'm actually going to screenshot that before they actually change it again, because that's what they've been doing. It's been going up and being taken down. So I've took a screenshot now, and I have it there. I tell you, unbelievable. Oh, and by the way, just in case anybody thinks it isn't Jodie Whittaker's series, I'll just show you there. Look, there's our picture there. It's definitely her series. So there, and it shows the episodes underneath. Look, so there we go. Air date. So just in case anybody thinks it's not, there you go. There's the air date. 92 on that, 79 for the second one, and 58% on that one. So there you go. So, night all. Thanks, Noel, and everyone. Good night. Yeah, Amaran. I can never get your name right. I don't even know if I'm ever pronouncing your name right, but thank you for joining our chats. Really enjoy having you here. Fiddling with the scores on Rotten Tomatoes. They've been doing it for a long time, Milk Dreams. They did it with Captain Marvel. And they were so obvious, but they're starting to do it now with other sites. But the critic score is the most important here. Forget about the audience score, because fans on both sides are right. You can't really judge the audience score, because you'll have the Jodie Whittaker fans going in and giving it an upvote, and then of course you'll have all the people even that are not even watching, hate watching, or people that aren't even watching going in and voting. So the audience score ignore, right? But it is interesting that the audience score of Series 11 actually has maintained a 20, whatever it was, 21 or 22%, whatever it was, right? But it's the critic score that's important, because the critic score didn't change for Series 11, and it's changing for Series 12. It's down another 10%. This is a disaster. I tell you now, right? Doctor Who Series 12 won't be winning the Golden Tomato Award this year. Do you remember it won a Golden Tomato last year? Well, it won't be winning any award. It'll win the Golden Turd Award. That's what it'll win. It won't be winning any awards. So, The third episode was written by Ed Heim, the guy. Orphan 55 was written by Ed Heim, the guy who wrote the episode It Takes You Away. So that one wasn't written by Chris Chibnall. Chris Chibnall wrote the first two episodes. He does have other episodes that he is writing. I think he's writing 4 or 5 or something, or almost half of the episodes he's writing. And then the rest are he's writing to him. And remember, right, we still haven't seen the Cybermen yet, right? The way we've seen, you know what I mean? The way we know the Cybermen are. We still haven't seen any of the other villains that he's supposed to be bringing back. The Judoon are coming back pretty shortly as well. So he's just squeezing an awful lot in. And it just, if the third episode's any indication, all we're going to get is a jumbled mess for the next. He's going to try squeeze as much in, and there's going to be no real substance to it. And we're all going to be sitting back after Series 12 and saying the same thing that we said after Series 11. What the hell did I just watch? And there's a comment by Jason Hell that I think is very apt right now. He says, Doctor Who used to be, what happened to the Doctor this week? What kind of adventure will he be on? Now it's, I wonder what the Doctor will lecture us on this week. Exactly. And that's spot on. And we've got, I was a huge fan of Martha when much of the fan base hated after Rose left. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Martha Jones. I think she's up there as one of the best companions, to be honest, and she's very underrated. Jason Hell says he agrees with me. Thank you very much. But look, we could tell BBC what's wrong. They're just not going to listen to us. And that's why you don't see Chibnall at any conventions, because he doesn't want to have to face the fans. Because someone like me would question him, and he doesn't want to be questioned by someone like me because his ego is so big. He thinks he's the best ever. And Electric Media Madness is saying good night. Good night. Thanks for joining the stream, my friend. Nice having you along. We will be on again Wednesday with another stream if you'd like to join us. We'll have Baldstrek here as well. Remember, guys, actually, Baldstrek will be joining me live on Wednesday with a couple of other guests. And the idea of a companion that was in love with the Doctor, but she was a friend zoned till she got enough strength to leave him. Yeah, I didn't like that element of it, but at least like they did, the Doctor made it very clear and they kind of nipped it in the bud. But with Rose, there was, I hate that. He's a very poor creative writer. 42 is probably his best episode. I actually think 42 is a pile of crap and should be actually thrown out of the airlock and never spoke of again. Believe it or not, Max, that script was actually rewritten because what Chibnall had originally given wasn't good enough. So RTD actually made changes to that script. But unfortunately, it was so bad that that's the episode that we got, but it was apparently worse than that. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And as some people have said in the live chat, please make sure that you're actually notified, because there's some people that are not getting notified of these streams. YouTube, again, as all the big YouTubers have been saying out there, YouTube is messing. You get people saying, but they're only lying, they're only saying that. No, it's true. It's happening. So please make sure that you if you have pressed the notification bell, that it's still pressed, because YouTube are obviously, I don't know what they're at. They need to stop with all these little rules and stuff and just let people create. We're not doing any harm. Well, we are to the likes of these idiots, but you know what I mean? We're not doing harm to anybody else. There's only a few little idiots that are offended. Jason Howell is saying good night. Good night, and have a good one. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Make sure the bell is active. That's what I meant to say. Thank you, Chris. Chris says puts it in the right way. And thanks for moderating as well. And if there's any of the other moderators there with you, thank you very much. Or Chris, if there's anybody in the chat that you think is trustworthy enough to become a moderator there, I'll just give it, send us a message there. Let us know who you think I should make moderator. I could do with another moderator while, because they don't all jump in at this each stream, every stream. So, and Jason is saying good night to you all. So I'll just throw that up on the screen there, saying good night to you all. So good night. John Michael Fink is here. He says, hi, Noel. Welcome to the chat. Let's see. Right. So, yeah, 58% on Rotten Tomatoes for the third episode. While the other two, Spyfall got a 92. It's actually pretty consistent, though, if you look at it, because 92, I say, is about right, because it was an improvement on that we got in Series 11. Now, the second episode of Spyfall was bad, and it's reflected here with a 79%, and the third episode was worse, and it's reflected. It's got a 58%. So, it's reflecting there. Yeah, people can say what they want about Rotten Tomatoes, but at least we're getting to see a downward trend either way. Crusader is leaving the chat. Good night, my friend. Talk to you soon. How Chris Chibnall became showrunner, I do not know. That's a question that all of us Doctor Who fans still ask ourselves to this day. I've just noticed that Bluebonnet Whovian has uploaded her thoughts on episodes 2 and 3. Yeah, she told me that she was actually throwing there up because I was hoping to get her on tonight, but she was obviously uploading the video and it was still rendering at the time. We'll see if she's actually free. Let's see. Jamie Madison wrote The Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline. I actually like Flatline. Right, let me see. If you haven't subscribed to Bluebonnet Whovian's channel, actually, please do. I think she said she made 500. Was it 500 subscribers, I think, or something like that. Hold on, what did she say? Because she put the message up. But congratulations. Well deserved, I have to say. Let's try get you up to that magical 1,000 number. It'll be great to see. I thought the Power 3 was good until I realised that the only part I liked was the acting. Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of Chris Chibnall's stories, to be quite honest with you. Let me see. What have we got? Yeah, 500 subs. 500 subs for Bluebonnet. So congratulations. Right, I'm just replying back to Chris there, who just texted me. She's at 507 at the moment. Wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It won't be too long before she gets to the 1,000, because once I got over the 500 mark, it was pretty good from there. So yeah, that's brilliant. Let me see. Max says would have preferred him to become showrunner because of those episodes. Yeah, and Chris has actually put Bluebonnet Whovian's group in the live chat. So check it out there, please, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Actually, do us a favor as well. Put the Rabbi's channel up there as well if you can, Chris. Maybe Boss Drex. Just throw mine in there as well. For the hell of it, why not? And who else? Throw up the Nerdaholics as well if you can. And Gary, if that's okay with you. Oh, and the Space Book. I think they have a YouTube channel as well. Just throw them up as well. We might as well try to get as much support as we can for everybody while I'm on. So let me see. Max with another comment here. Colin, that's fair. I think it's better to have him who is proven at writing good Doctor Who stories, but then you see Moffat. True, that's the thing. I don't know. I just don't know where we go from here. I just don't know if a new showrunner can actually resurrect this because they'd have such a job on their hands. Actually, here, I'll ask you guys this, right? So who would you like to see, right? As showrunner, who would you like to see take over showrunner of Doctor Who? And who would you like your new Doctor to be? Try make it the one comment. So give us your name, your showrunner, and give us your name of the person you would like to take over the role as the Doctor. And let's see how many interesting choices we actually get. It's interesting to see what other people think, because we all have a different vision for the Doctor. So that's what I'm interested in. And the writer as well. We all have a different vision on how this show should be written. So it'll be interesting to see some of the comments. So Chris has put up the Rabbi from another planet. Thank you. Who else have we got? Fly Away. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Nice to have you on board. As I said, there will be Toby Whithouse would be someone I'd consider. Peter D. There's a couple of channels going up in the live chat. If you have to subscribe to any of these channels, please do. They're all good people, and they all deserve your support. So they would actually all appreciate it too. So if you could get them, if you could support them, I'd really appreciate that. Nicholas Briggs for showrunner would be another choice. So we'll start off with Max because Max starts it off. So Max says Ronan Atkinson as the Doctor, Madison as head writer, and then we've got Peter D who thinks Toby Whithouse as showrunner. Colin says he would like Nicholas Briggs as showrunner, Tom Ellis for the Doctor, Big Finish writers in general. Let me see. Chris has put the Nerdaholics group up there as well. So as I said, guys, check out while I put these comments up. We've got the Elite. Neil Gaiman and Richard L. Ed would be my choice. I like Richard as a choice as well, and I'm a fan of Neil Gaiman as well. And Glenn Edwards just says having an actor as the Doctor would be a nice change of pace, and a showrunner who could write would be great. So he's not too fussy who they are, just wants they actually are better than what we have, which is fair enough, and I would agree with you on that one as well. I think that's how a lot of people are feeling. It's madness, Glenn. It's madness. Lee Anthony Davis says, yes, I will subscribe to Blue Hoovian straight away after the show finishes. No problem. Paul McGann or David Bradley and do a retro season series, says Sir Ritznum. Fly Away says, personally, I enjoyed Matt Smith's Doctor, so I guess I'd like the showrunner then also. Would that be Moffat? And we've got Dario who says, Dario 108 who says Mark Aces and Mads Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen, yeah. Showrunner, I'm not sure. Says Max. And let me see. And Flyaway says, as for the future Doctor Who showrunner, I don't know, to be honest, but whoever it is, I hope it's soon. Yeah. I think, there's some interesting choices there. And I think fans at this stage some fans don't care who it is once it's an improvement of what we've actually got. And, it's sad that it's gotten to this, really. It's madness, if you ask me. So Lee Anthony Davis says someone like Philip Hinchcliffe for showrunner and Joanna Lumley as the Doctor. Yeah, that's a good choice as well. Let me see. What have we got? Hold on. There's also the Doctor and his Times book, which has the history of the show and interviews of the Doctors. All right, that must be a book that you're talking about in the chat. Sorry about that. Didn't know that was obviously private conversation, but that's nice to hear. I don't know. I don't think a female Doctor again. I don't think people would necessarily be down for that after what's happened this time. I think there'll be a lot of caution. I want a male Doctor, says Flyaway. Yeah, I agree. I think it is very important that the next casting is a male Doctor. I'm sorry, but the experiment failed, and I know Jodie Whittaker fans won't like hearing that, but it has failed, and it's failed because of a lot of reasons. It's not just down to the woman herself; it's down to the writing. It's down to the kind of showrunner that we've got and his writing team. It's got to do with the fact that he's hindered her at every step. And me, imagine telling someone not to research the role. But in my opinion, and I will say this again, if you're acting a role, to me, if I was going to portray someone or I was going to take on a role as big as Doctor Who, I'd actually do the research. Because at the end of the day, that's what the role deserves. It deserves that respect. But obviously these new writers, they don't respect that, and you can see it. I got $10. Says the next Doctor will be a black man. Has been rumored. I'm not going to lie. They could go down that route, and if they do, then Richard Ayoade would be the perfect casting choice, in my opinion. So yeah, why not? If they're good enough, doesn't matter what their skin color, race, religion, whatever. Don't care. If they're good enough for the role, give it to them. Robert Carlyle or Robbie Coltrane, I would like as the Master after the current one, and Joanna Lumley as Romana. Tom Baker did say if people didn't like this series, that you're right. He actually was quoted as saying that, which is quite telling from the man himself. I wouldn't say he likes this current iteration. And watching his character, a character that he believed nobody else should play. Remember that, because he had such a big ego. Could you imagine what he's like now? If he actually watched Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And Colin agrees it has to be a male doctor for me, unless they go with a Jenny Serious. And that has nothing to do with the actress or the writing. The idea of a male Wonder Woman is just as wrong. I agree. Showrunner says Super John, and welcome Super John, is Paul Cornell. Good choice. That's it. We don't have an issue with the color of the Doctor. If they're a great actor and they can play and they're good enough to play the role, they should be given the role. It's as simple as that. That's the way we've always been. It doesn't matter. They just have never cast a person of color as the Doctor before. That's not to say that Doctor Who fans or Whovians have a problem with that. We don't. As we said, if the actor is at the caliber of all the other predecessors, bar Jodie Whittaker, leave her out of the equation. If this new Doctor fits the bill and is at the same potential as the rest of the lads that we got beforehand, then good on him. Give him the job, and let's see where it goes from there. I kind of get your point, Glenn Edwards, but, at the same time, BBC is pandered enough to everybody. So, I mean, but as I said, if the person's a good enough actor, and I do get your point that they probably still continue to go down the woke garbage route, and that's what you're afraid of. But if we got the right showrunner in place, that mightn't be the case. Chris says he would like a Dr. Donna series, but they wasted it. Yeah, I think it's a bit long now, but that would have been a great idea, actually. That would have been actually a fantastic idea. But yeah, that's yeah. Oh, that's had to put me in. Yeah, that's had to depress me. Thanks, Chris, for that. You depressed me there now, mate. Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Your dog is looking at me and saying, what's going on there? Good night, everybody, says Peter D. Good night, my friend. Good night. Have a good one. Every actor took the role, always researched the part, and that explains a lot about Jodie Whittaker. It does. And even if she did it after the fact, it's too late. It's too late. Matt Smith did it before he took the role. He wasn't a Whovian. He became a Whovian. He became a fan of the show. And she couldn't be bothered. But of course, if her boss tells her not to, you can't put the blame all down to her. But at the same time, if you've any sort of intelligence, you would know what your boss is telling you is wrong. You would go against your boss and you'd actually research the role. That's what good actors do. That's what good actresses do, right? You hear them in Hollywood. Have you read the source material? Oh, the director told me not to really read the books, but I went and read the book anyway. Ha, 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 ha. And they make a laugh and a joke about it. But no, Jodie Whittaker didn't do that. Can I put YouTube links in the chat? You can indeed. We've already put some channel links in the chat, but if you've got other channels or whatever it is, if it's Doctor Who related, no problem at all. What do you think about the American actor playing the Doctor, or should the Doctor always be British? Well, we've had this talk on this channel before. Everybody knows my feelings on it, and I think the Doctor is a British role, and the actor, therefore, should always be British. I just don't know. I just don't think, personally speaking, it would work. If you bring an American in, then obviously you would have to move the show to America, because an American Doctor is not going to work well in Cardiff. It's not going to work well in London. I'm sorry, it just won't. And hate to say it, but British people just don't like Americans right now. And that's down to one person right now. And you all know who I'm talking about. Always say is she got herself a ginger prince, and ever since she's got to the palace, she's caused nothing but murder, and everybody hates Americans now because of her. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But it's typical of an arrogant American like herself. You know, there's hundreds of years of tradition there. And she's basically said, well, feck your rules, feck your traditions. I'm going to do what I want to do. She knew what she was married into. So the fact that she's coming out and moaning with her husband actually makes me sick. And I hate by the way, I hate the British, what the British stand, not the people, but what the British establishment stands for, because what they've done to my country. The fact that I'm actually standing up for the British establishment here kind of actually makes me a bit, I don't know what's going on here. But this woman, I knew, was going to have something to do with bringing down this royal family. And Americans and the royal family do not mix. Do not mix. And it's, So an American doctor, I'm sorry, in the current mood of the British people, trust me, an American doctor would be the last thing that BBC would do right now. And I don't think they would ever accept anybody but a British actor, not even an Irish actor. I don't think even an Irish actor should play the role, you know? So it's a British role as far as I'm concerned. But so whatever you guys think, I don't know what some of you think, but if some of you agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, and if you have a choice of an American actor that you actually think would do a good job, throw their name up there and I'll put it up on the screen as usual. But knowing British people the way Irish people do, would they accept an American doctor? The answer would be no. Not a chance. Not a chance. And Glenn Edwards says, wouldn't be the first time an American woman has screwed up the royal, seems to be a pattern. I know, but you think the royal family would learn by now. Look, I love Americans. I love what they stand for. I love the American people. I really do. But there's this arrogance, right? They think the rest of the world doesn't exist, right? Now, she knew what she was marrying into. This is what annoys me. And then she goes and does an interview where she's nearly crying and tries to compare herself to Princess Diana. Well, you lost the British people right there when you compared yourself to Princess Diana. You ain't no Princess Diana. It's mad. Hugh Laurie, he's almost American. I say he wants to be American now, Glenn. But yeah, let's get away from that. I'm just saying the current move of the British people, though, they wouldn't accept an American doctor, and I don't think it would work. I don't even think it would work with an Irish doctor, to be honest with you, because an Irish doctor would just be, it wouldn't work. Trust me. Irish people can't do subtlety, so that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. But if there's anybody here that actually thinks an American actor could take this role, just throw up the names there and I'll put them up on the screen. It'll be interesting to see if anybody actually would still go with an American actor. Look, you have to look at shows like Torchwood, though. When Torchwood went to America, they had Bill Pullman in the fourth series of Torchwood, and it was absolutely a joke. It was bad, right? It's just some British shows, whether people like it or not, and it's the same with every shows, right? It's the same. This is why American shows do remakes of shows, right? But sometimes when you don't remake a show and you actually move the show to a different country like Torchwood does, it doesn't translate well on TV, because it just, for me, even watching the fourth series of Torchwood, it didn't even feel like Torchwood. The start did. Obviously, the very start of that episode where they're on the beach and Gwen takes out the big bazooka and they shoot down a helicopter. That was typical Torchwood, right? But after that, then as soon as I went to America, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of American shows as most people are. I prefer me British shows and some of me Irish shows and some other European shows out there. But when it comes to American shows, there's only a few that I will watch. I'm not a big fan of American TV anyway. So when I see a Torchwood, I knew Torchwood once I went to America was going to fail because there's just something different. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. If anybody can explain why they think it's different, but it doesn't translate well on TV. So no, American Doctor would not work because they'd have to move the show to America to have American cast in it for it to work, and it wouldn't work because the British people then wouldn't watch it. They wouldn't watch an American Doctor Who. And if you look at it, the film was a joint venture between the BBC and an American film company. Just look how well that movie did. Right? So there's no desire for an American Doctor Who. But I wouldn't put it past Chris Chibnall because he'll do that, probably be the final nail in the coffin. Well, it's not your show anymore. We gave it to the Americans. And I wouldn't put it past them. Not for 1 second. Right. Freddie Highmore would be a great Doctor. He'd cost about $1 million an episode, or is that 100 grand? Is that $1 million? Is that 6 zeros? It's 6 zeros, so it's $1 million. Yeah, I love Bourne Gorman. I loved him in Torchwood. If they got Doctor Who right again, I'd love them to bring back Torchwood with the old team and get Jack to go back through time or something and rescue them all or something. I would love the old team to come back. As the Doctor, I think he'd play a better Master, Chris, to be honest with you. I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody likes Will Smith. Yeah, but he wouldn't play a great Doctor. He wouldn't be a great Doctor, Will Smith. No. He doesn't. Will Smith has charisma, you know, and he can set the women's hearts pulses racing. But other than that, no. I wouldn't like to see... No, because do you know what would be in my head? He's in the TARDIS, and then I'll be just thinking, he should break out in the dance, you know, and Carlton just pops out and starts breaking out in the Carlton dance. No. Do you know what, though? I wouldn't mind a crossover between Doctor Who and Ralph. Alf. Why do I keep saying Ralph? Alf. That'd be deadly. Alf on the TARDIS. Is it possible for an old Doctor to return? Well, now that Peter Capaldi was able to actually, you know, he chose a face. So, yeah, technically speaking, Fly Away, yes, they could bring back an old Doctor. This is why people are saying, why not bring back Peter Capaldi and just try and you know, retcon her era. They could do that. They could very well do that, but they won't. That's the problem. They won't bring back... See, here again is the problem, Fly Away. They bring back an old actor, right, to play the Doctor again. Then they're admitting that they got it wrong. And unfortunately, BBC, even when they were caught hiding the fact that they had a paedophile in their organisation for decades, they wouldn't apologise. They didn't apologise sincerely. Sure, come here. Do you know how great their apology was? They knew that this guy, Jimmy Savile, was guilty, right? And they still did the commemoration shows, right? They knew he was guilty. They were told about the allegations, right? The police were investigating. And what did they do? In honour of the man that was dead, that was accused of being a paedophile and actually molesting thousands of kids, they did... shows in his commemoration, right? Top of the Pops, Jim Will Fix It. They were shows of his that he did. They got different presenters, and it was all about celebrating his life, and they knew he was a paedophile, right? BBC don't care. And some of those people that probably knew about Jimmy Savile are probably still working at the BBC. Okay, so BBC don't know how to apologise. BBC won't be seen to be backtracking either. BBC are it's a cesspit. It's full of vile, disgusting creatures that don't give a crap about entertaining. And that's the reason why the BBC is in the position that they're in right now, is because they protected the paedophile. They had actually outed them at the start. None of this inclusion strategy bullshit would be thrown in their faces. The government were forced to act, and this is the result. So now they've been kind of put in line to a certain extent, but BBC still can do whatever the crap they want, and they're a very powerful organisation. I know it wasn't just Jimmy Savile, but he was the big one. But there was Gary Glitter. He was on Top of the Pops a few times with Jimmy Savile, a mate of his. Actually, there was an interview on This Is Your Life, which I think was aired on BBC, where a girl comes out and is interviewed, and Gary Glitter is there, and she talks about being brought into the dressing rooms and stuff like that. And there he is going, shh, don't say any more. But it was acceptable back then. Everybody was laughing, blah, blah, blah. But everybody knew that he was a paedophile as well. Then you have Rolf Harris as well. There's a bit of a trend here. People that used to grow up and listen to on TV or watch on TV ended up all being paedophiles. All worked for the BBC, and were protected by the BBC. So if anybody wants to know the reason why BBC are in the predicament that they're in now, is because they protected a load of paedophiles. And that's the bottom line. And that's why Doctor Who is being ruined. That's why everything else that they show is woke as crap, because they're trying to appease the public because of that. Because at the end of the day, they don't care, and they never will. And I spoke about this a few years back when Jodie Whittaker was actually cast, and I was actually criticised for saying all this stuff back then, right? And I'll probably get criticised tonight by some people in the comment section after this goes up, but I don't really care. It's the truth. BBC are in the position they're in because of their past history, because of their dirty dealings back in the day, because of the cover-ups and all the vile things that they let go on under their office doors. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah. Glenn, it's BBC as an organisation. People say Disney are bad, and Disney are bad, and I'm not going to defend Disney one bit, but BBC are just as bad. For an organisation like the BBC, they are rotten to the core. And Doctor Who isn't getting better anytime soon, And if Doctor Who wasn't on the BBC, I wish Doctor Who wasn't on the BBC. I wish another network had Doctor Who, because I wouldn't be supporting the BBC. I wouldn't support the BBC one iota, right? Because seriously, I wouldn't. And I don't care. There might be new faces in the BBC, and they might have cleaned up a lot of the BBC, but they're still biased. They're still dirty. They're still doing dirty tricks. They tried to have my YouTube channel taken down as well. They're a bunch of scum. That's all they are. And I don't care. I don't care what they say anymore. And any of those BBC gobshites that always come after me on Twitter, I don't care. Come after me. I'll expose you all. Don't care anymore. At the end of the day, right, you've ruined the show that I have watched for over 35 years of my life and 40 years of age, and you've just decided to spit on it. And every single person that has died that played that role, they're spinning in their graves. You shit all over their graves with this crap. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed. British born cover up, BBC. I see loads of people are giving their abbreviations. We've got Chris has one here as well. Better be careful. I love that one. Oh God. Sky or ITV would do better with Doctor Who, I feel. Sky would. ITV, I'm not sure. They had Primeval. They didn't do that very well. And that was their big budget kind of sci-fi thing. So, Max says British Brainwashing Corporation. That's another good one. I agree. It's, look, my contempt for the BBC, and people say, "Oh, you hate Jodie Whittaker, you hate all these people, you keep going after these people." Come after me, I'll go after them anyway. That's the way it's always been. But at the end of the day, yes, I have contempt for the BBC. I don't like Jodie Whittaker because she works for the BBC, to be quite honest with you. But I don't like her because she's never really embraced the fandom, and she hasn't. Just making a little appearance of Children in Need and making the little girl strange wishes. Even though at the time I said it was a beautiful thing and it was a beautiful gesture and it still is, right? But what else has she done for the fans? Then for Series 11 or something, she met a group of girls and young fans right at the start. What else did she do? What Comic Cons has she been at since? Right? She hasn't engaged with the fans, neither has Chris Chibnall. They don't care. Right, and they won't show up because they know that we will all have something to say, slag them off for their crap that they produce. It's absolutely ridiculous, the rubbish that they're producing, and they won't sit there and take the criticism because their egos won't allow them to be criticised. Yeah. Well, what can I say? There's no much to really say, except that, we'll see what happens on Sunday. I mean, Sunday's episode, if we're going by the trend of last year, we had, if you remember, we started off strong with Series 11. And then we got a bit of a tail off, and then it picked up again. We'll see if this series has the same trend. So if it's going by the same trend, next week's episode should actually pick up on the ratings and not actually lose ratings. Now, the subject matter, obviously, Nicholas Tesla, or Nikolai, wherever which way you want to pronounce it. But it's an interesting subject matter, and for sci-fi geeks like us, it actually is an interesting subject matter, and it's something that we would normally watch if it was on a different TV program. So it's something I am looking forward to, but I don't see it being any being good, and I'm actually wondering what they're going to do to his character. Yeah, I'm a bit worried now. Listen, guys, I'm about to head off now, but just a few announcements. So I have Paul Streck and a couple of other guests joining me on Wednesday. I will let you know who the other guests are when I know exactly who else is coming on. I have sent out invites to some. Some have got back to me. I'm just waiting on the rest to get back to me. So we'll be back Wednesday. In the meantime, if any other articles come out, I'll go live and let you know what's going on. Keep an eye on the likes of Rotten Tomatoes and all those other sites to be informed. Where else? There was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, I want to thank everybody tonight who sent in a super chat. Really appreciate it, Jesus, man. Especially where is he? Because I have to thank him because he sent in something like 4 super chats. So I just want to make sure. Where is he? Did he not come up? Where? I don't know where you check for these bloody things. Is he gone? It was, who was it? Actually, he's not even in the chat anymore. I wonder if was he deleted? Couldn't have been deleted. Hold on. Did the super chats, because I don't know this, did the super chats go to a different area? on this. I don't know. Hold on, because this is annoying me, guys. Because right, they're not coming up. Well, you know who you are, guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody that actually did drop in a super chat. I don't know where to check on this. I'm actually on the StreamYard version of this, doing this stream. What I'll do is I'll thank yous in the next stream. I already did thank yous tonight, but I like to thank yous again. Give yous a but thank you everybody that actually sent us in some super chats tonight. So we will have a stream on Wednesday. As I said, I'll have Ballstreck and a couple of guests. Then on Friday, we'll see what we'll do Friday. We'll more than likely be another panel anyway. And then Sunday, then we have the big one. What's the next episode even called? What's the next episode called? Does anybody know what the next episode is actually called? Damn. And the next episode?
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
What's it called?
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
And the one after that is Fugitive of the Judoon.
And the next one is Fugitive of the Judoon.
And then Praxeus.
Right, and then Praxeus is the next one after that. Yeah. The Judoon one is speculating that people are looking for the Doctor, but I don't think they're looking for the Doctor, to be quite honest with you. I think they're looking for someone else, but I could be wrong. They could be, you never know. The Master could feature in the Judoon episode. He's probably escaped from the Upside Down, as we call it, or as Ballstreck says, Stranger Things. So yeah, look, I mean, it is, as I said, it's fascinating though. You know, I mean, yeah, I might be complaining, but it is very fascinating because I'm wondering. Is there gonna be any references to Gallifrey being destroyed, or is he just gonna do what he did last year? Do you remember when he did the whole Tim Shaw, the Stenza story arc, or supposed story arc? So we got to see the Stenza Tim Shaw in the first episode, and then I think it was mentioned briefly offhand in another episode, and then we got the end episode, and apparently that was a story arc. So is he doing the same thing with the whole Gallifrey business? Is that what he did? So Yaz mentioned that the Doctor was in a marquee mood. Was that what it was? A narky mood or whatever it was, right? So is that it? Is that the bit of the story arc there now, Chris? And then at the end, then you're going to show us exactly what happened. Is that how you're going to do it, man? You think you're clever? I could write something better. Jesus Christ, man. Me dog Ted is far more intelligent than you. He could write a better episode, a better story arc. Yeah. Well, thanks be to God, the one thing he hasn't roped into this series is K9, because I would have been disappointed. Tell you, at least K9 is not suffering. At least he didn't drag poor K9 back. You know, I'm actually surprised he didn't, because it's supposed to be kid-like, this series. So I'm surprised he didn't bring back the Tin Dog, because the Tin Dog would actually fit down his alley, because he could actually give K9 some dumb dialogue and actually get the Doctor to play dumb with K9, because the people that actually watch this don't have great intelligence anyway, as we've actually kind of found out with their insults. They don't actually have great intelligence. Jodie Whittaker fans actually don't have the greatest intelligence, God love them, because they love this show. And, you know, the thing about it is, they think this is brilliant sci-fi. Jesus Christ, I'd love them to watch something like Arrival or something. You know, I love that, or Interstellar. that would give them a headache and a nosebleed. They wouldn't know what was going on because they don't know intelligent sci-fi if it slapped them in the face. Chris says, my prediction, I'll put it up because I like when someone comes up with predictions. So Chris says, my prediction, Nicola will come to terms with being not a genius after tapping an alien consciousness and stealing its ideas. Do you know what? That's exactly how they're going to do it, because do you know why? They've discredited them anyway in history. Edison was a great man for trying to do that as well, but he was discredited. So this would be a way that Doctor Who could actually do it that would make sense. So, Chris, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I say that's about a 70% chance that that'll happen. Actually, does anybody agree with Chris's prediction there? Because I certainly do. Do us a favor. I have to. Glenn, just do us a favor, mate. And well, I forgot to say. I should say at the start of every chat, because until I don't need to say it again. But we have to keep the chat clean. Because YouTube is being very strict on these things. So you're still in the chat, but I've removed that last comment. And that's, I just forgot to say that. So just as I said, if you want to, if you're angry and you want to express it, and you'd normally do what I do and drop an F-bomb. I could drop an F-bomb during the live chat, but during the live stream, but you can't during the live chat, because for some weird reason they're punishing people on the live chat. So I should have said it. No, it's my fault, Glenn, because Cheryl keeps reminding me of these things. I have to keep saying it at the start of the stream, because obviously it's a new thing we all have to get used to. But apparently you have to keep the live chat clean, because they judge you on your live chat as well, and how that community, how toxic that community. See, they don't just judge you; they're judging your community that you have on your live chat and seeing how toxic they are. So it's just so everybody doesn't get into trouble. You know me; I don't give a crap. How many F-bombs have I dropped over the last year on this channel? You know me, and everybody else. I hate these rules, to be quite honest with you. Quite frankly, if I'm being honest, I don't think any children should be on YouTube, and I think it's parents being irresponsible and handing the responsibility to someone else. Parents these days don't raise their child, they get someone else to do it for them. They're a bunch of lazy twats that are a bunch of sheep, and you know what? I actually feel sorry for the children, because the children are going to be a bunch of dopes, every single one of them, ticks. I have no hope for humanity, no hope for our children. And by the way, if we go to war, right, wait and you see all those loudmouths, wait and you see how many of them will actually stand up, pick up a gun and go to war. Not one of them, because they'd be offended by something, right? That's the kind of society that we've actually decided to go for. A pussy whipped society, where men are docile, where women want to just control everything, and we're just used as sperm donors. That's it. That's the way the world is going to go, and that's the way they want it. And then on top of that, then we get messages about how we should change our behavior, how we should look after the planet well. I get told on educational programs that I watch that the planet is in dire health. We all get it, right? We know, as I said, whether it's got to do with doing something about climate change, if you believe in that thing, or whether it's cleaning up the oceans, protecting the sea life, whatever it is, right? I think we all should do something, right? But it has no place in Doctor Who, right? And banging us over the head with it, right? Now remember, right, that was that message, right, about Orphan 55. Has everybody forgotten that we're supposed to be getting a plastic straw episode in this series? So we're going to get another fucking lecture about plastic, right? And we're going to be told paper straws are the way to go. Well, give me a plastic straw over a paper straw any day, because I don't know if anybody's ever used a paper straw. But when you use a fucking paper straw, number one, the drink doesn't taste the same. Number two, after about 20 minutes, the paper straw goes to shit. Plastic all the way, right? At the end of the day, it's up to you as an individual to get rid of that plastic piece of straw or whatever plastic you have responsibly. That's your job, okay? These gobshite paper straws. What about people that have disabilities, by the way? People that can't use paper straws. Remember that news article we saw on Newsround? Was it last year, of that girl that was saying that she needed plastic straws because the paper straws, remember, she had a movement in her neck or something, because whatever it was, a muscle thing on nerve, and her head kept bopping about, and she could only use plastic straws. They're not thinking of people that actually need to use plastic straws, because there's some fucking idiot out there, tree hugger, that's actually saying, oh, we're cutting down all this paper straws. No, sorry, not tree hugger, because they actually, yeah, I'm actually surprised the tree huggers are not giving out about paper straws either. That'll be next. Then we'll go to metal straws, right? And then we can't use what, metal straws? Yeah, but then they'll rust or something, and then we'll all be poisoned. Yeah, great. Nobody wants. I want me plastic straw, right? I want to be able to bend me straw, right, and not have me straw fall apart, right? So don't forget, we're getting a lecture on plastic. So that's to come, right? So we've already got one on the climate and nuclear war, right? Now we're gonna get one on plastic. So what other fucking messages is he gonna put in this series? Is he gonna tell us that we're using our toilets too much next? Or he's gonna tell us that we're wasting food now? What else is he gonna preach to us? See, that's the problem. Doctor Who shouldn't be dealing with issues like that. We have programs that documentary filmmakers make about that kind of shit, right? Doctor Who's supposed to be entertaining us, making us laugh, making us cry, not fucking depressing us and making us want to jump out the window because the world's gone to shit. Right? We don't care if the world's gone to shit. Doctor Who's job is to entertain, so we don't have to listen to that shit, and we don't have to know how shitty the world is, right? If we want to know how shitty the world is, we'll put on the fucking documentaries there on all the Sky fucking channels and we'll watch them, right? I want to be entertained by me sci-fi, not fucking preached. And I hope you're listening, you clown. No, he's right. Bark away, Ted.
No, do not bark away.
You're right, buddy. I agree with you. It's absolutely disgraceful, man. Yes, come up here, buddy. You support your daddy. Come here. Yes, there he is. Here's Teddy. Teddy supports his daddy because he knows his daddy is angry. Here he is. Hold on, wait. I'm trying to put you on camera, buddy. There he is. Look at him. He supports his daddy. I wonder who else he'll preach that. Teddy, tell them do you like Peter Capaldi? Yeah? What about Jodie Whittaker? Oh, he moved. You see that? As soon as I mentioned Jodie Whittaker, he turned to watch this. Ted. Do you like Peter Capaldi? Yeah? Do you like Jodie Whittaker? No. See? If you're wondering why I'm just turning off the camera all the time, it's because I get so flustered and get so annoyed that I don't want you to actually see me face, because it's just so annoying. You can see it in my face. The passion's just gone from me every time. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But look, we're going to be getting plenty of lectures this series, so prepare for more than we're going to play plastic straws. I've got a funny feeling that's the next that's going to tie in, if I'm correct in saying, that's probably going to tie in with probably the Sea Devils. And again, I will just point out, just in case BBC think I've given away trade secrets, I will say that this is rumour and speculation. There you go. So feck you, BBC. Yeah, it's gas. You have to actually say that now because, you give away trade secrets. You have to be very careful. Brilliant. It would have been great if he had to send me a letter or something, though. and said, listen, you say any more and we're going to sue you, because I would have wrote a letter back. With what? I haven't got a penny to me name, you idiots. You won't be getting that, not me. See, this is why I don't care. So if anybody out there works for the BBC, listen up. I want to know how Doctor Who Series 12 ends. If you can come to me and give me that information and let me know how Doctor Who Series 12 ends, don't worry, I won't give your name in. I'm very loyal, and I will also ruin it for everybody. So please let me know, because if it's what I think it's going to be, it needs to be. People need to hear. People need to know what's going on with Doctor Who before we get there. So if there's anybody out there that's willing to talk to me, because I have posted information from other reliable sources, if you're willing to come to this channel, talk to me and let me know how this series ends, so I can let the general public know what BBC and Chris Chibnall are planning for the end of this show, because we really need to know. I need to know what's happening in this show. I need to know what's happening in the end. I need to know how he's going to do this. I need to know that Gallifrey is all right. I need to know that the Time Lords have been resolved. I need to know that this is just an alternative universe. I just need to know. And Max says about 3 million by the end. You know what? Someone said that. Someone said that to me. And I said, you know what? That's not possible. If it goes down that low, sure, it's finished. And do you know what, Max? I agree. It looks like it's actually even going to do that. So, yeah. Right, what have we got? 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes to go. And as I said, I've got StreamYard Premium now, so I don't actually have any restrictions anymore on it. So I don't have to worry about my StreamYard going. We've signed up for the whole year. So that's great. And Crystal has to go. Good night, Crystal. Have a good one. Thanks for joining the stream as usual. Nice having you on board. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry for going on a rant, but that's how I just feel. I mean, look, there's people in this live chat that I know. There's people that I know on Twitter that I've gotten to know very well, and some of them write. And you know what? Some of the stuff that they're writing is far superior than anything we've had in Doctor Who. So with that said, I just want to shout out a few people that actually do create content. Now, if there's anybody else that you guys know that you know create Doctor Who content, like animations or stories or stuff like that, please let people know in the live chat. But the two people in particular that I want to actually mention, and I'm going to have Chris on soon, the guys behind the Big Finish style audio, the last game, isn't it? The last game, I think it is. Yeah, the last game. Something. What was that? So, Black Glove Studios. It's an audio. It's a Big Finish audio. Pertwee audio. Go and check it out. Absolutely fantastic. And then you've got the guys from Sideways Who. They're on Twitter. They actually write some Doctor Who stories. So you've got guys that do audios, and then you have these guys then that do Doctor Who stories. Sideways Who. They're on Twitter. Go and follow them on Twitter, and then I think they give you a link to their stuff. Actually, if one of me mods is there, if you could put Sideways Who's Twitter account up in the live chat, and if you could put Black Glove Studios that do the long game, or is the last game or the long game? I keep getting confused. So it's a Big Finish audio. I've listened to the first couple of parts. I haven't heard the rest of it yet. I don't know. Actually, I think the guys might have sent me an email. I'll have to check and see if I got the other two parts, because I really enjoyed it. And if you haven't, please go and actually check them out. Sorry, I feel electric car video on Mad Mix. There you are, Milk Dreams. But that's weird. I'm at checking your comments there, and the rest of your comments are gone, including your that's who it was. I wanted to say thank you to for your super chats. Thank you for all your super chats and tonight. I really appreciate it, mate. And actually, to everybody else that sent me a super chat tonight, I appreciate it. You know what? I'm gobsmacked, to be quite honest with you. And it really humbles me when you guys do something like that, because it means what I'm doing is worthwhile. It means that you actually like what I have to say and you believe in what I'm doing. So to have that encouragement, and that's what it is, and to have that belief in me, thank you. I appreciate it. Half of the overnight viewers have gone, says Max. Doctor Who can be big with the right things. It can. I said this. It could be bigger than Game of Thrones. Yeah, I couldn't find any of your chats unless the super chats go into a special area. See, I'm on the StreamYard version of the chat, so I don't know if they go into a special place, but I just wanted to thank you for them anyway. I'm pretty sure Capaldi's area did not contain the consolidated 1 week figures, so the only way is to compare the overnights. I don't know if that's true, Glenn. I think Capaldi's did have overnights. Consolidated figures. I think I've seen Capaldi's consolidated figures. They don't look too bad. But I think they did. They definitely did for Series 10, as far as I know. Yeah, don't stop doing what you're doing, Noel, says fly away. I won't, trust me. No, the Jadun and Plasma Moors. The Plasma Wars. Yeah. I don't know. There, Chris put sideways. Thanks, Chris. You've been a star tonight, my friend. Brilliant. I've got moderators on it, but Chris and Chuckzilla are the two moderators that always are here all the time. I know everybody else does be busy, but these two guys are normally here every night with me. So thanks again, Chris. You're doing a great job, mate. I appreciate all the help as well. Is anybody even looking forward to the I can't even say it because I'm getting tongue tied. Is anybody even looking forward to the Judoon episode? Because the Judoon mean nothing to me, really. So I don't know. I don't see them as a villain. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see them as a villain. Teddy getting angry there. What are you getting angry for? Did you bring me out your ball or something? Is that what it is? Hold on now. I'm nearly finished, buddy. We've only got a few more minutes. Jump top. Yeah, I actually wanted to talk to you. I seen you were trying to add me on Twitter, but I didn't know who you actually were because I now on Twitter, I'm very careful who I add on Twitter because of the trolls. But if you'd like to send me another friend request on Twitter, I'll add you this time. I just didn't know who you were. I have seen you pop in the live chat a couple of times, but you know yourself, you have to be very, very careful of who you add. But thank you for the £5 super chat. My mother liked this week's episode. She did not think it was woke. She will never complain about TV. Well, you see, there will be a lot in just this generation as well, though. I can understand why the younger generation don't think this is woke, because this has been normal to them. Obviously, I live a different generation to most of Jodie Whittaker's fans, and they'll never get where I'm coming from. And of course, I will never get where they're coming from, because what I see, the way they want to go with things, is wrong. I mean, every generation, I suppose, has has had to deal with the same kind of things, you know, that came before. Yeah, it's weird. It's just this though, society is gone backwards. And yeah, I mean, my wife's mum and dad love Batwoman, or as Ballstrick likes to call it, woke Batman. They actually think there's better acting and better writing in that than there is in Doctor Who. So that goes shy is it's weird, but yeah, older people, older generation like me man, dad's generation, unfortunately, don't tend to. I agree with you on that one. They don't tend to moan about TV as much, because they don't care. See, some people are set in their ways and they have their shows and they don't kind of broaden their horizons that much. You know, unless they're told by the friend, oh, you have to watch this show. You know, and Chris has put up all of those links that I asked him. So they're in the live chat there, guys. So go and support all those guys. I will always throw up a channel or ask me mods to do that. I'll support anybody here that needs any support. Remember that, guys. And Jump Top, thank you for that £5 super chat. That's really kind of you to do that. Try to connect on Twitter too. Oh, did you, Milk Dreams? Under the same name? If it's under the same name, then no problem. Go and add me there. If it was under a different name, if you want to send me your Twitter handle, I will add you on Twitter as well. Max says, I'm young and it's woke. Yeah. I say you must be, I don't know, as a younger person, I say you must be really embarrassed with your generation. I know Daniel is, and Daniel will probably be the same age as yourself. There's a lot of your generation, I have to say that, and it's not all of them, and it's unfair because there's people like yourself, Max and Daniel, decent people, you know, they do your generation proud. But you must be embarrassed by the way your generation goes on sometimes, because I know my generation could do embarrassing things, and I'll be honest here, not every generation gets away scot-free. You know, all generations have done something silly. But I think this is the worst it's ever gotten. My Milk Dreams at Twitter, no problem. I will add you on Twitter after this stream. And Chuckzilla with a 5 Canadian, if I'm right, is that $5 Canadian? To our host with the most, but Teddy, some treats. Cheers, my friend. Buy Teddy some treats, my friend. We'll get Teddy some loads of treats. Trust me, Teddy will be looked after. Yeah, and here, do you want to come up and say hello to Chuck? Come here, come on up and say hello to Chuck, because Chuck really likes Teddy. Chuck likes Teddy, don't you? Right, here, where's the camera? Here, say hello. Say hello to Chuck. Look, there now. Say hello to Chuck. Chuck gave you $5 Canadian. You say hello to him. You say hello to Chuck. He gave you $5 Canadian. Say hello, Chuck. Yeah. For anybody that's new to the channel, Ted pops up the odd time, so I hope you don't find that weird. The dog likes to be part of the live stream, and I don't like leaving him out, you know. Thanks for that, Chuckzilla. Really appreciate it, mate. Listen, folks, we're going to finish it there. I hope you have actually enjoyed the live stream. Ted certainly has, by the sounds of things, haven't you? Again, I want to thank everybody for the super chats tonight, and everybody actually that commented tonight. Great stream. Wait, I'll be with you now, Teddy. I'll be with you now. Great stream. Cheryl's just throwing him these teddy bears thing, hoping that he stops barking, but he's not going to stop barking. But listen, I will talk to you all on Wednesday. I'll have Ballstrick, as I said, and other guests, and then obviously during the week I'll be doing a couple of more few articles and stuff like that. So good night, God bless, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all on Wednesday. See you, folks. Bye bye.